Phoenix Nights. Chapter 450. Zhao Feng's situation obviously caught the attention of both friend and foe. After all, he had the battle power of a true mystic rank and was the target of the Iron Dragon Alliance's Rank 1 bounty. However, Zhao Feng's tired state made others doubt if he could even stand. Our luck this time isn't just good. A heavily injured True Lord rank and an extremely weak True Mystic rank prodigy. The 18th Core Elder, the Fat Baldy, floated into the air. He led a portion of the sub-palace forces and worked together with the Slender Woman to pincer Zhao Feng, Old Su, Princess Jean, and company. Su Tianchen, you're a True Lord rank, but you're going to die in our hands today. The slender woman in the black dress wiped the sharp dagger in her hand. In reality, that attack just then had only caused some external injuries to Old Su, but it wasn't fatal. However, the slender woman already had victory in her hands because she had Old Su's weakness. Old Su's strength was unquestionable. Only the two core elders working together would have the confidence to fight him head-on. However, Old Su had his misgivings. He could not ignore the life and death of the other people in the villa. If he fought, his hands and feet would be tied. However, what surprised the slender woman the most was Zhao Feng, the target of the Iron Dragon Alliance's Rank 1 bounty. Being a core member of the Iron Dragon Alliance, she knew what a Rank 1 bounty meant. Usually, a Rank 1 bounty required the threat of a True Lord rank and posed a great threat to the Iron Dragon Alliance's reputation. The target of a Rank 1 bounty is tired and has no battle power at all. The slender woman felt as if this wasn't real. In the face of a first-class arrest warrant, she was a little uneasy and needed to be prepared. However, the blue-haired youth in front of her didn't seem to have any ability to fight back and even needed the protection of a woman. How could a first-class wanted order be so easily obtained? The slender woman and the fat baldy looked at each other and were overjoyed. The reward for completing a Rank 1 bounty was extremely rich and was enough to make most true spirit realm cultivators' eyes go red. Jean, who's this youth? Old Su raised his eyebrows and asked with slight surprise. With his True Lord rank cultivation, it wasn't hard for him to see Zhao Feng's true cultivation. Moreover, the 10th Core Elder's assassination target was also Zhao Feng. 10th Elder, keep eccentric do occupied for now. Let me kill this brat. Remember, capture and kill. The fat baldy's face was filled with joy. This Class 1 wanted order was a little special. It required the target to be captured alive. I'll give you all the credit. How can it be so easy? I'll leave old Monster Su to you. The slender woman ignored the 18th Elder and charged at Zhao Feng and Princess Jean. The fat baldy gritted his teeth, but he could not disobey. The 36 elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance were ranked according to their strength and status. He had experienced the slender woman's strength firsthand, and knew that he couldn't steal the credit. Su Tianchen, let's play again. The fat baldy's expression was dark as he waved his white bone sword and sent out waves of deadly flames that clashed with Old Su. As for the slender woman, her movements were unpredictable and she attacked Princess Jean and Zhao Feng again and again. However, Old Su's cultivation level was still there, and he could see through the slender woman's movements every time. He fought against the two core elders alone. 10th Elder, why don't we kill this old bastard first? That's also a great achievement. The fat baldy was a little annoyed and suggested. Sure. This old bastard is big trouble. The slender woman's attacks suddenly split off and targeted Old Su's weaknesses. Old Su had to protect Zhao Feng, Princess Jean, and block the two core elders at the same time. He felt bitter in his heart. If he was at his peak, he could instantly kill the two core elders, but his foundation had been injured and his strength had dropped to the true mystic rank. Master! Princess Jin's eyes became moist. Her gaze turned and looked at the blue-haired youth in front of her. Princess Jean sighed in her heart. If you could take out half of the sacred true dragon gathering strength, this situation could be easily resolved. Right at this moment, the blue-haired youth's figure moved slightly. The god's spiritual eyes changed this time seems to be different from before. Zhao Feng groaned and covered his left eye. The swelling pain was 10 times or even 100 times stronger than usual, and it attacked his soul. If it wasn't for his strong will, he would have fainted long ago. Within the dimension of his left eye, the 99-jong cold pond had basically melted. Ripples appeared on the surface of the water, which was the deep blue color of the sea. However, this state wasn't completely stable. Every few moments, the tranquil water in the pond would turn into an icy pond, emitting a bone-chilling coldness. The god's spiritual eye's power changed between ice and water. That wasn't all. Every moment, a layer of azure light would appear on the pond and its element would change again. Every time this happened, Zhao Feng's left eye would flash with an azure light. Your hair! Princess Jean suddenly realized that Zhao Feng's blue hair glowed with a green light for a moment. Meow meow! The little thieving cat looked at the change in Zhao Feng's eye and hair and revealed a weird expression before becoming thoughtful. What's going on? My god's spiritual eye didn't change much this time, but it can change between ice and water and even return to its previous element. Zhao Feng found a pattern. Before the change, Zhao Feng's left eye and hair were azure. Just now, Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye had returned to its previous state. Ding ding bung 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 bing bing. Zhao Feng felt the battle around him. An elder with white eyebrows was doing his best to protect him. As time passed, Old Su found it more and more difficult to deal with the 2 core elders at the same time. He had reached the limit of his heart power. At a certain moment, the attacks of the 2 core elders reached a peak and pushed Old Su back several yards. Old Su was injured in many places because he was protecting Zhao Feng and Princess Jean. His old injuries suddenly acted up. Wah! Old Su spat out a mouthful of blood as he was pushed back. His face was pale. Master! Princess Jean screamed in pain. A good chance! The 2 core elders looked at each other with joy on their faces. Illusion Sky Void Stab. The slender black-dressed female's figure suddenly flashed and became a blur. Whoosh! 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 A transparent blade appeared out of nowhere and slashed towards Princess Jean and Zhao Feng. The first to be hit was Princess Jean. The blade was hard to see with the naked eye. It was as if it came from the air and couldn't be dodged at all. Kill Princess Jean first, then capture Zhao Feng. The slender female's blurry figure merged into the moonlight, and her killing intent pierced into the soul. Princess Jean couldn't dodge or fight back against an attack of this level. Her face was pale. Jeaner! Old Su, who was knocked back, spat out a mouthful of blood. He staggered and couldn't help but cry out. Zhao Feng, who was leaning on Princess Jean, was expressionless. His face was still filled with fatigue and discomfort. A strange light flashed in the eyes of the 10th elder, who was charging over. Even in this situation, Zhao Feng remained unmoved, not a shred of fear in the slightest. If that's the case, the slender female's face went cold. The blade first cut towards Princess Jean's snow-white neck. At that moment, Princess Jean closed her eyes. Old Su roared in anger. Helplessness was written all over his face. As for Third Highness and the others, their thoughts couldn't keep up. A crisp sound rang out amidst the moonlit night. Time seemed to stop at this moment. Zhao Feng was still exhausted. He leaned on Princess Jean and seemed to be half asleep. The slender female was only half an inch away from Zhao Feng and Princess Jean. They could feel each other's breathing. However, her steps froze. Crack! The slender female's short blade broke into 2. Meow meow! The silver-gray thieving cat on his shoulder played with a dark transparent dagger. As the dagger swayed, it left behind an illusory shadow blade light in the night. In a flash, the slender female's short blade was cut in 2. Meow meow! The little thieving cat played with the dark transparent dagger with a smug expression. How is this possible? My Twilight Night blade is a rare middle-tier spiritual grade inheritance weapon. It's a treasure in the world of assassins. The slender female was dazed and couldn't accept this reality. What? The fat Baldy's jaw almost fell off as he watched the slender female's twilight night blade be cut in two by the little thieving cat's mysterious dagger. The illusion sky shadow stab just now was the 10th Elder's famous skill. It was so fast that even normal true mystic ranks couldn't react. How could that thieving cat be so fast? In the time it took for a spark to fly, it had blocked the 10th Elder's assassination technique. What was even more unbelievable was that the dark transparent dagger in the little thieving cat's hand was able to cut through a spiritual-grade weapon like tofu. Even some true lord ranks would find it hard to do this. At this point in time, both friend and foe fell into a momentary daze. Little thieving cat, don't leak the aura of your weapon. Let me do it. Zhao Feng's face was full of exhaustion as he rubbed his temples. Back in the Purple Saint treasured palace, when the little thieving cat obtained this mysterious inheritance weapon, even the Purple Saint partial spirit panicked. Meow meow! The little thieving cat nodded its head and instantly put away the mysterious dark transparent dagger. As soon as its words finished, Zhao Feng's tired body held onto Princess Jin's shoulder and slowly stood up. Ignorant brat, you don't even have the strength to truss a chicken and you still want to resist? The 18th Core Elder, the fat Baldy, had a ruthless gaze as he recovered from his momentary shock. The cat's performance just then had indeed scared him. However, he soon saw that the little thieving cat's strength mainly came from the mysterious assassin weapon. Hand over the dagger. The black-dressed female recovered from the shock and her face was filled with greed and joy. Think about it. If that mysterious dagger fell into her hands, what kind of legend would it create? Zhao Feng didn't bother with the two. He endured the exhaustion and slowly condensed the power of his god's spiritual eye. Hu Zhao Feng's left eye flashed with a faint blue and then a bone-chilling coldness before flashing with an azure light. The three elements of ice, water, and wind changed and formed an unknown eye transformation. Chapter 451. Watch out! It's his eye bloodline! From afar, the 18th Core Elder noticed the weird change in Zhao Feng's left eye and couldn't help but warn the slender woman. Before the mission, they had obviously investigated the number 1 genius of the 13 countries. Amongst them, his eye bloodline was the most prominent trait of that genius. At this point in time, Zhao Feng's left eye started to change. Sometimes it was bone-piercing blue, sometimes it was as soft as water, and then it was as light as the wind. In this change, Zhao Feng forcefully suppressed the swelling pain in his left eye and barely managed to steady himself as he took a step forward. Zhao Feng, you! Princess Jin quickly helped Zhao Feng steady. Seeing Zhao Feng open his left eye, she was half happy and half worried. She had personally seen the power of this eye bloodline at the Sacred True Dragon Gathering, and it was probably even stronger than the 3 major eye bloodlines of the continent. However, in this state, could Zhao Feng still attack? The little thieving cat stood on his shoulder and didn't move, but its black eyes twinkled. Perhaps it was the only one who could understand the reason behind this. After returning to the cloud area, Zhao Feng pointed his spear at the Iron Dragon Alliance, and even used himself as bait. However, at the same time, Zhao Feng wanted to keep some hidden cards like the Ice Imperial Spear and the True Lord rank Ghost Corpses. This was also why Zhao Feng stopped the little thieving cat from attacking and put away the mysterious assassin weapon. Humph! Little cat, hand over that dagger. The greed and killing intent in the black-dressed woman's eyes became stronger. However, she didn't dare to ignore the change in Zhao Feng's eye bloodline. Zhao Feng suppressed his tiredness and opened his god's spiritual eye and circulated the power in the dimension of his left eye. Dimension of his left eye. The aura of the pond changed between ice and water, and there would occasionally be a wisp of the wind element. This change was the source of Zhao Feng's discomfort. In everyone's eyes, Zhao Feng couldn't stand still and needed Princess Jin's help. With your current state? Hee, let's see if your eye bloodline is faster or if my assassination technique is faster. A trace of cruelty flashed across the corner of the slender woman's mouth, and a sharp awl that was spinning at a high speed appeared in her hand. The blue-haired youth in his line of sight was still tired and lazy, appearing to be indifferent. However, his left eye had successfully locked onto the slender woman. The slender woman's heart skipped a beat. She felt a sense of uneasiness that came from her soul. In a split second, she made a decision. When Zhao Feng's left eye locked onto her, the slender woman had no way out. Phantom sky, phantom stab! The slender woman's figure blurred again. In the darkness of the night, only an illusory and transparent sharp blade shadow could be seen, as if it was born out of thin air, stabbing towards Zhao Feng's chest. At that moment, the nearby True Spirit Realm Masters, Old Su, Princess Jean, 18th Elder, Elder Jiang, all held their breaths. The slender woman's ultimate skill had once again appeared, and her speed and power had reached a peak. In the cloud area, it was extremely rare for someone under the True Lord rank to be able to block this move. Everyone even had the feeling that the sharp blade had already pierced through Zhao Feng's body and blood splattered everywhere. At this moment, Zhao Feng's left eye turned from ice to azure. His blue hair suddenly changed, and a layer of green appeared on it. Even the bloodline power in his body surged with a familiar azure hue that he hadn't seen in a long time. It's returned to the azure eye of the past? Zhao Feng's left eye contracted as he instinctively circulated the azure blood in his body, and used a similar principle to the eye-soul shooting line. Back when Zhao Feng had azure hair and azure eyes, his understanding of his eye bloodline was still shallow, and had only reached the beginner level. At this moment, Zhao Feng returned to his familiar state, and he instinctively circulated his eye bloodline skill. In the moonlight, the illusory and transparent sharp shadow was about to reach Zhao Feng's heart. It was only an inch or two away. The heart was the source of the human body's life force. Once the heart was broken, even a true lord rank would die. The smile on the slender woman's face was cruel and mocking. Her countless experience in killing enemies told her that the assassination was a success. However, when the transparent shadow was half an inch away from Zhao Feng's heart, the smile on the slender woman's face suddenly froze, and she looked a little confused. Pfft! A translucent azure wind blade sliced through the slender woman's throat. The slender woman's blurry figure froze on the spot. On her snow-white neck, a smooth blood-red cut was left, and then the color became darker and darker. As the night wind blew, the sound of a head falling to the ground could be heard. Hiss! Everyone gasped as if they had just woken up from a dream. No one saw clearly how Zhao Feng made his move. More accurately speaking, he didn't even make a move. All he did was lock onto the slender woman with his left eye. Only Old Su and a few others saw that Zhao Feng's left eye flashed with a cold azure light. This move is a bit like... Princess Jean thought back to the sacred True Dragon Gathering and the successor of the Tuoba family's eye bloodline. Tuoba Chi's heavenly piercing eye was the instant his eye bloodline opened, and an invisible blade instantly sliced toward its target. Because his eye bloodline had returned to the wind element, Zhao Feng copied the heavenly piercing eye and seemed to be very familiar with it. Plop! The slender woman's headless body fell into a pool of blood. She probably didn't even think that she would die to Zhao Feng's experimental eye bloodline. 10th Core Elder. Not far away, the 18th Core Elder, Fat Baldy, cried out involuntarily, his face ashen. He took in a cold breath and his body shook. The Fat Baldy never would have thought that the peak true mystic rank slender woman would be killed in the blink of an eye. He suddenly felt slightly regretful. How could someone who was listed as a rank 1 killing order be easy to deal with? Why didn't he listen to the blood sickle slaughterer's warning? However, there was no medicine for regret. After finishing off the slender woman, Zhao Feng suppressed his exhaustion and locked onto the 18th Core Elder with his left eye. Mercy! The Fat Baldy's soul almost flew out of his body as he rolled on the ground. Coincidentally at this moment, the power of Zhao Feng's left eye turned a bone-chilling blue. Eye-soul shooting line. Zhao Feng's left eye condensed a transparent ray of light that instantly pierced through the 18th Core Elder's body and soul. The Fat Baldy's rolling figure seemed to turn to stone as a coldness seeped into his soul. In the next instant, The fat Baldy's consciousness went black and he fell into eternal sleep. His state was the same as Li Hong's back in the Purple Saint ruins. His consciousness had entered an endless hibernation. Even void god realms couldn't do anything about it. However, after finishing all of this, Zhao Feng's eyes narrowed twice. The 10th Core Elder has fallen. Oh my god, the 18th Core Elder's fate is unknown. The other true spirit realm experts of the Iron Dragon Alliance were the first to react. Their hearts went cold and they were scared out of their wits. Crack! 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 Amidst the chaos and panic, the iron cloud death net that had shrouded the entire mountain villa was broken without any resistance. The experts of the Iron Dragon Alliance lost without even fighting. First, the true spirit realm leader ran away, then the entire formation collapsed. The members of the Dragon Killing Alliance were dazed and couldn't react in a short period of time. A few breaths ago, the Iron Dragon Alliance had pushed the entire village to the brink of death. However, in the blink of an eye, the Iron Dragon Alliance had collapsed. Everyone, follow up with another attack! Old Su was overjoyed as he looked deeply at Zhao Feng and ordered the members of the Dragon Killing Alliance to counterattack. However, the miraculous youth that had single-handedly turned the situation around fell into a deep sleep once again. When he fell asleep this time, the situation was different from before. Zhao Feng's consciousness didn't fall asleep and he could feel the pond in the dimension of his left eye. The pond was, in essence, Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power. D. The 99-yard pond started to ripple and a mysterious whirlpool formed in the middle. With a thought, Zhao Feng merged his consciousness into the whirlpool. When Zhao Feng felt as if the pond had become the center of his body. Under his instincts, the aura of the pond started to change, and it started to give off a cold blue aura. From water to ice. This ability seemed to be an innate talent that couldn't be described with words. Immediately after, Zhao Feng controlled the whirlpool to contract and change. Shwa! A gust of wind started to blow on the surface of the pond, and an azure light appeared. Wind creation. Looks like the god's spiritual eyes change this time is indeed different from the past. Zhao Feng nodded his head. Firstly, the god's spiritual eyes change this time wasn't a big leap. For example, last time, the god's spiritual eye turned from azure to blue and his hair turned blue. That was the big change. The change between ice and water didn't change the element. Zhao Feng could faintly feel that this small change was just a transition in preparation for the big change in the future. Although the god's spiritual eye had only gone through a small change this time, Zhao Feng had gained a lot. His eye bloodline power had more changes and he could control it better. He didn't know how long he slept for. When Zhao Feng opened his eyes again, he felt that the pain from the god's spiritual eye had decreased by more than half. It seemed that the god's spiritual eye's change had passed the most critical stage. You're awake! Princess Jin's soft voice sounded. Zhao Feng opened his eyes, sat up and smiled faintly. How long did I sleep for? At this moment, Zhao Feng's hair was as blue as the sea, and his left eye was like a sapphire, giving off a gentle feeling. The coldness of the past didn't exist anymore. That intangible temperament seemed so gentle and refined, so charming. Princess Jean fell into a momentary daze. Her face went red and her heart jumped. She was used to the cold, wicked, and emotionless youth at the sacred True Dragon gathering. She never thought that the cold youth would have such a gentle and charming moment. You slept for half a month this time. I'll go tell Master. Princess Jean forced her emotions to calm down, and was afraid that Zhao Feng would fall asleep again. Don't worry, I won't fall asleep soon. Zhao Feng had a very clear understanding of his current situation. Moments later, in a secret room in the depths of a cave, Zhao Feng and Old Su sat opposite each other. Princess Jean poured tea for the two and left the secret room politely. She obviously knew that this level of discussion wasn't something she could participate in. Zhao Feng, thank you for helping me. I didn't think that the little 13 countries would give birth to a genius like you. Of course, I know why you came. Chapter 452. Of course, this old man knows why you've come. After expressing his gratitude and admiration, Old Su quickly changed the topic and went straight to the point. He was obviously worried that Zhao Feng might fall asleep at any moment. Too much pleasantries would only waste precious time. Oh? Old Su, please give me some pointers. Zhao Feng revealed some interest and was very satisfied with Old Su's style. Cough, cough. Old Su paused slightly and circulated his qi of true spirit to suppress his old injuries. At the same time, he inspected Zhao Feng, the overwhelming prodigy who had dominated the sacred true dragon gathering several months ago. Princess Jean obviously didn't hide anything from her master about Zhao Feng's achievements in the sacred true dragon gathering. Elder Su was quite shocked when he heard this shocking news. Even now, he still hadn't calmed down. Old Su gave Zhao Feng a deep glance and knew that prodigies like Zhao Feng, who had suppressed dozens of generations, would definitely control the fate of the continent in the future as long as they weren't killed. Maybe in the future, Zhao Feng would be on the same level as those legendary figures such as the Scarlet Moon Religion Patriarch and Sword Senki Wuxia. Firstly, the Iron Dragon Alliance is our common enemy. I believe Brother Zhao won't doubt this. Old Su finally spoke but didn't make a conclusion. That's right. Zhao Feng nodded his head faintly. From this, it could be seen how he pointed his spear at the Iron Dragon Alliance as soon as he returned to the cloud area. If I'm not wrong, you returned to the 13 countries to save your sect and your masters, Old Su said calmly. Zhao Feng smiled and nodded his head, signaling Old Su to continue. In reality, as long as one understood Zhao Feng's past, it wouldn't be hard to guess this. However, you're alone and want to use the Dragon Killing Alliance to understand and deal with the Iron Dragon Alliance. Therefore, you'll find us. Old Su smiled as he looked at Zhao Feng. This time, Zhao Feng didn't nod or deny it. Then may I ask what suggestion Elder Su can give me? Zhao Feng smiled faintly. His sapphire left eye shone with a watery light, making him seem gentle and refined. Elder Su suddenly realized that he couldn't see through this youth. But he would not hide his thoughts. My advice to you is to leave Cloud City as soon as possible. Old Su's voice was harsh, but it did not lose its sincerity. Leave Cloud immediately. Elder Su's advice to Zhao Feng was only 4 words. Why? Zhao Feng was a little surprised. The most rational thing to do is to immediately return to the power behind you and cultivate in seclusion for several years. When you've truly matured, everything will change. At the very least, you have to be able to bring in enough reinforcements, Old Su said solemnly. Zhao Feng was stunned and could not help but ponder over the meaning behind Su Lao's words. Suddenly, he smiled in surprise and had a better impression of Elder Su. Old Su's words were straightforward and sincere. When he knew of Zhao Feng's glory at the sacred true dragon gathering, Old Su didn't ask him to join the Dragon Killing Alliance, and instead urged Zhao Feng to leave the cloud area. It was obvious that Old Su was worried that a new prodigy like Zhao Feng would die too early and leave regrets. Old Su just needs to tell me how to save the Broken Moon Clan and the Iron Dragon Alliance's true strength. Zhao Feng didn't linger on this question, and quickly changed the topic. Old Su wasn't surprised and smiled instead. How could a top prodigy like Zhao Feng give up so easily? However, Old Su was confident that as long as Zhao Feng was reasonable, he could convince him. You might not know this, but the 13 clans are not only part of the Iron Dragon Alliance in name, they also signed a blood pact 2 years ago. Blood pact? Zhao Feng's expression changed slightly. Back then, he was chased by Hai Yun Master and left the 13 countries in a hurry, so he didn't know the details of the surrender. Zhao Feng only knew that the Dark Serene Palace betrayed the 13 clans, and seemed to have connections with the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. As for the other 12 clans, they all surrendered when true Lord Taishao arrived. Back then at the Dragon Concealing Lake, the elders of the 12 clans all signed a blood pact and made their forces subordinate to the Iron Dragon Alliance. You should know the power of the blood pact. This is a power witnessed by the heavens and earth. Old Su sighed as he spoke up to hear. This means that even if I return to the Broken Moon clan, my master won't help me. On the contrary, my return will put him in a difficult situation? Zhao Feng's expression was solemn. That's right. If you want to save the Broken Moon clan, the only way is to attack the Iron Dragon Alliance's base. As long as the Iron Dragon Alliance is destroyed, the Blood Pact will lose its power. This is the simplest solution. Old Su couldn't help but look at Zhao Feng as he spoke up to hear. Directly attacking the base of the Iron Dragon Alliance and destroying it was a bold and unrealistic idea. The reason why Old Su brought up this unrealistic, but only method was because he wanted Zhao Feng to back off. However, Lao Feng's expression didn't change. When Old Su suggested this unrealistic method, his eyes seemed to move a little. After a moment of silence, how strong is the Iron Dragon Alliance? Zhao Feng finally asked the question he cared about the most. How strong? Old Su shook his head and smiled. The entire Cloud area has 2 strong countries, 13 countries, and many clans. The Iron Dragon Alliance has the 4 Palace Lords, the 36 Core Elders, and many other experts. They can cover the sky in the Cloud area, and their power has even spread to the surrounding strong countries. Furthermore, this is only the known forces. The Iron Dragon Alliance has the support of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, but no one knows how many hidden forces and experts there are. The 4 Palace Lords and the 36 Core Elders. Zhao Feng's eyes flashed as he seemed to understand the upper echelon of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Not long ago, the 2 Core Elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance forced the Dragon Killing Alliance to this level with just 2 sub-palaces. The 36 Core Elders each controlled a sub-palace. Above the sub-palaces were the Palace Lords. Each Palace Lord controlled 9 sub-palaces. Palace Lords were definitely at the True Lord rank. True Lord Tai Shao, who made the 13 clans submit, is one of the 4 Palace Lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Old Su briefly mentioned the 4 Palace Kings and the stronger Core Elders. 4 Palace Lords? What Zhao Feng really cared about was the 4 Palace Lords, which included the experts of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. Half the time it took to make tea later. Thank you for your advice, Old Su. Directly attacking the Iron Dragon Alliance's Yellow Dragon Lair is the only, simplest, and most direct way. Zhao Feng slowly got up with a smile. Old Su paused. Did Zhao Feng listen to his advice? But he felt that something was wrong. From the beginning to the end, Zhao Feng wasn't scared at all and his tone was filled with confidence. Just as Zhao Feng was about to leave. Wait, you're not leaving the Cloud area? Of course not. The blue-haired youth's footsteps paused. Have you already found reinforcements? Old Su guessed. I'm enough. Zhao Feng laughed and continued to walk away. What? Old Su was dazed as he pointed at Zhao Feng. His finger trembled slightly as if he was so angry that he couldn't even make a sound. Arrogant. Too arrogant. Old Su took a deep breath and pointed at Zhao Feng. You're the strongest overwhelming prodigy of this generation, but arrogance and ignorance will only push you into the abyss. Zhao Feng ignored him, his steps exuding an incomparably powerful will. Stop! Old Su roared as his white hair blew in the wind. The aura of a true Lord rank resonated with the heaven-earth yuan qi and created a scene. The aura of a true Lord rank. Although Old Su's strength had dropped, his mental energy level was still there. Hee, early-stage true Lord rank. Is this what Old Su was at his peak? The blue-haired youth in his field of vision smiled. At this moment, he seemed to have turned into a vast ocean and an unfathomable abyss. A wisp of indiscernible mental energy permeated the small secret chamber, giving the illusion that the entire space had been frozen. You. Old Su's body trembled. Under that aura, he felt a sense of pressure that made it difficult for him to move. This mental energy aura was stronger than any true Lord rank he had seen before. The opponent's soul was so strong that it seemed to be able to contain a part of heaven and earth. Old Su's expression went from shock to fear and then to joy and disbelief. Finally, Old Su looked deeply at the youth in front of him with shock and respect in his eyes. I didn't think that your cultivation had reached such a level. I've indeed underestimated your strength. However, Old Su also asked his own question. Your soul and cultivation are so strong that it should be easy for you to break through to the true Lord rank. Furthermore, you won't be able to shake the Iron Dragon Alliance with just your battle power alone. Xiao Feng smiled but didn't reply. If it wasn't for the change in his left eye, he should have broken through to the true Lord rank by now. Shwa! Shwa! A dark pearl appeared in Xiao Feng's hand and he flicked it. In an instant, two dark figures gave off terrifying auras as they stood on either side of Xiao Feng. Within the mist, the two dark silver ghost corpses stood on either side of Xiao Feng like death guards. True Lord rank. How is this possible? Even strong countries and sacred lands can't raise a true Lord rank ghost corpse. Old Su's figure almost tripped as waves of shock appeared in his heart. Xiao Feng inspected the two dark silver ghost corpses with satisfaction. After being nurtured in the 10,000 ghost pearl for a month or two, the cultivation of the two ghost corpses was close to the early stage true Lord rank. This 10,000 ghost pearl was one of the gifts that the Purple Saint Partial Spirit gave to Xiao Feng. This pearl was the sacred weapon of the 10,000 Ghost Emperor. In the past, the 10,000 Ghost Great Emperor had nurtured an army of 10,000 ghosts within this pearl and swept through all directions. With his own strength, he had annihilated a few two-star sections. Shwa! The two true Lord rank ghost corpses were quickly put away. Old Su still hadn't recovered from his shock. It was obvious that Xiao Feng's shock had overturned his 100 or 200 years of experience. This is just the appetizer. When my bloodline fully awakens, anything is possible. Chapter 453. Within the Secret Room. After a moment of shock and fear, Old Su managed to regain his composure, but he couldn't help but feel defeated. Back then, he was one of the strongest experts in the Cloud area and controlled a strong country with the power of a true Lord rank. He could affect the fate of the Cloud area. In Old Su's eyes, the Cloud country where Xiao Feng came from was just a small place. In his eyes, the Broken Moon clan was just a small clan. It wasn't hard to imagine Old Su's glory back then. In his youth, he was definitely one of the top prodigies in the Cloud area. At this moment in time, Old Su experienced shock, doubt, defeat, and many other emotions. Admiration and respect appeared on Old Su's face as he looked at the blue-haired youth in front of him. This was a world where the strong ruled, regardless of age or age. Xiao Feng's achievements in the sacred true dragon gathering and his current strength made even Old Su, one of the strongest in the Cloud area, look up to him. Thinking about the advice he gave to Xiao Feng not long ago, Old Su's face went red. Just the strength that Xiao Feng displayed was equivalent to at least 3 true Lord ranks, including the 2 dark silver ghost corpses. Old Su didn't doubt that Xiao Feng didn't have the strength of a true Lord rank since he could control 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. Furthermore, reaching the true Lord rank wasn't difficult for Xiao Feng at all. Old Su, I'll return to the 13 countries after I sleep one more time. Xiao Feng's eyelids were slightly heavy. He estimated that he could hold on for another 4 hours before falling asleep again. Return to the 13 countries? What's the point of doing this? Old Su couldn't help but ask. The 13 clans were now subordinates of the Iron Dragon Alliance, and First Elder of the Broken Moon clan and company had signed a blood contract. If Xiao Feng returned to the Broken Moon clan, it would put First Elder in a difficult situation. I'm going back to the Broken Moon clan, to kill someone. Xiao Feng's warm eyes suddenly turned into a cold killing intent that could make anyone at the true spirit realm tremble. The switch between ice and water was completed with just one thought. If you need any help, I and the Dragon Killing Alliance will do our best to assist you. Old Su sighed softly, knowing that he couldn't stop Xiao Feng. Whether it was because they were enemies or because Xiao Feng had helped them out, Elder Su was duty-bound to do so. Xiao Feng thought for a moment, and gave 2 points. First, I hope that old Su can help me find out the headquarters of the Iron Dragon Alliance, the distribution of forces, and the whereabouts of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. Secondly, when I deal with the Iron Dragon Alliance, the Dragon Killing Alliance will clean up the mess and reshuffle the cloud area. Old Su wasn't surprised by the first point. The second point made Old Su's heart tremble. Zhao Feng's gaze was so distant. Before even attacking the Iron Dragon Alliance, he was already thinking about how to deal with the aftermath. This was especially so for Zhao Feng to say the word shuffle so casually. This made Old Su's heart skip a beat. He found it hard to estimate the foundation of this youth before him. Zhao Feng could have asked for reinforcements from the Canopy Great Country, but he didn't do so. After all, the cloud area was Zhao Feng's home. He decided to take care of it himself and not borrow the help of external forces. Unfortunately, I'm old and my foundation has been injured. I can only give you some help. Old Su was slightly ashamed and powerless. Furthermore, Zhao Feng was alone. Although he was surprised that Zhao Feng was strong, he still felt that Zhao Feng wasn't reliable. After all, the Iron Dragon Alliance was a monster that ruled the cloud area. Facing the human wave tactic of countless Ascended Realm experts and true Spirit Realm experts, wasn't Zhao Feng a bit too weak? Of course, what Old Su didn't know was that Zhao Feng had ignored the human wave tactic. And since Old Su is so considerate and didn't hesitate to use the Dragon Killing Alliance to help, I also have a token of appreciation. Zhao Feng gently touched the ancient metal ring. When a drop of mysterious green liquid floated in the air and radiated a thick aura of life, as if it was a mother's body. This is the elixir of life? Old Su's heart shook before revealing an excited and joyful expression. The elixir of life was formed under extremely harsh conditions. It was almost impossible for it to form on the Azure Flower continent. Zhao Feng's elixir of life was obtained from Yiyenyu in the Purple Saint Ruins. The elixir of life was the essence of life from the life-returning grass. Zhao Feng had first traded for 2 drops of the elixir of life from Yiyenyu, and then the little thieving cat's betrayal and the life-returning grass from Yiyenyu. The life-returning grass was given to the towering tree Yao to recover from the heavy injuries left by the Void God protection. However, at the time, Zhao Feng had been a little careful, and he had taken away the remaining 2 drops of elixir of life from the life-returning grass. Therefore, Zhao Feng currently had 4 drops of the elixir of life. One of them had been reserved by the mysterious scarlet-haired elder from the Iron Blood religion to repay a favor. As for the remaining 3 drops, Zhao Feng planned to give one to Old Su. After all, Old Su was the leader of the Dragon Killing Alliance. If he could recover to his peak strength, it would be of great help to Zhao Feng. Elixir of life, looks like you must have returned from the inheritance. Old Su's voice trembled and his face was filled with excitement. A legendary elixir like the elixir of life had long since disappeared from the Azure Flower continent. It could only be obtained from the outside world. Zhao Feng smiled and signaled Old Su to drink the elixir of life. Zhao Feng had seen Old Su's injuries through his god's spiritual eye. His injuries had seeped into a cultivator's source of true spirit. This kind of injury was extremely hard to recover from, and he couldn't rashly use his chi of true spirit, or else his injuries would worsen and even cause his cultivation to drop. However, Zhao Feng was confident in the effects of the elixir of life. In theory, even if a sovereign was heavily injured, the elixir of life would have a good effect. Old Su's face was full of gratitude, and he immediately sat down to recover. Half the time it took to make tea later. Old Su's chi of true spirit suddenly became stronger. Zhao Feng had a smile on his face as he saw Old Su's source of true spirit heal. In just this short amount of time, Old Su's source of true spirit had been mostly healed. He believed that in less than half a month, Old Su would be able to recover to his peak. Zhao Feng didn't stay any longer and left the secret room to return to his original place. 2 hours later. The next time I wake up, I'll return to the 13 countries. Zhao Feng closed his eyes tiredly. Under Old Su's orders, Princess Jean took good care of him. With her noble status and talent to participate in the sacred True Dragon gathering, Taking care of a youth wasn't just condescending in the eyes of others, it was self-humiliation. However, Princess Jin's eyes were filled with joy. Her face blushed from time to time. There was a sliver of yearning towards this. Many members of the dragon-killing alliance, including Old Jiang and Third Highness, were puzzled. Of course, they didn't know Zhao Feng's true identity. In the blink of an eye, another half a month passed. The new stronghold of the dragon-killing alliance was located near a deep ravine. At a certain moment, a shocking aura of true spirit appeared near this ravine, and all the heaven-earth yuan-chi within dozens of miles resonated with it. The sky above his head was dyed with a layer of scarlet-green light, and the clouds roiled. The invisible mental pressure and heaven and earth phenomena made the hearts of the dragon-killing alliance members jump. Many of them felt like they were suffocating. True Lord Rank aura! It's completely the aura of a true Lord Rank. It's Old Su. Great, could Old Su's injuries have healed? The members of the dragon-killing alliance were overjoyed and celebrated. Only Princess Jean was slightly surprised. She knew Master's injuries the best, and they should have been almost impossible to heal. Why was Master able to recover his peak true Lord Rank aura in just half a month? Could all of this be? Princess Jin's eyes turned and landed on the sleeping blue-haired youth. The only person she could think of was this miraculous youth. Maybe it was because of the heaven-earth yuan-chi resonating with him, but the blue-haired youth slowly opened his eyes. Old Su, congratulations, I'm coming out of seclusion. Zhao Feng's light laughter sounded from near the ravine. Princess Jin's vision blurred, and Zhao Feng disappeared from her sight. In the next instant, on the peak of the ravine, a gentle youth with blue hair and an old man with white eyebrows in a green robe stood side by side, chatting and laughing with each other. Princess Jean looked at the scene on the peak and was shocked. She suddenly realized that she had underestimated Zhao Feng's level. Zhao Feng was only at the true mystic rank in the sacred true dragon gathering. What level has he reached after coming out of the inheritance? Princess Jin's heart couldn't calm down. The sleeping youth that she always stared at seemed to be in the clouds and was filled with suspense. Congratulations on coming out of seclusion, Old Su. Near the ravine, the members of the dragon-killing alliance bowed in the direction of the mountain peak and congratulated. Hee, it's all thanks to His Excellency Zhao Feng. He brought hope to the dragon-killing alliance, and I believe that his miracles will continue in the cloud area. Old Su's face was red as he slowly raised his hand and expressed his gratitude and respect to the blue-haired youth. The hearts of the dragon-killing alliance members below shook, including Old Jiang, Third Highness, and company who knew Zhao Feng. At the same time, dozens of miles away, in the sky filled with clouds, a dark red ship that was 10 to 20 zhang long floated in the air. It was surrounded by a layer of faint blood-colored wind, giving off a strange gloomy pressure. I didn't think that old monster Su had already recovered to the true Lord rank. A raspy voice sounded from the front of the ship. It was an ugly human that looked like a zombie. His entire body was covered in dark silver stripes, and his entire body flowed with blood. It was the Blood Corpse Protector. Palace Lord, we have the advantage in overall strength, and old monster Su has just recovered from his illness. He's definitely not your match. There were 2 or 3 true mystic rank experts near the front of the ship and at least 10 true spirit realm experts. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes flashed with a blood-red light as he stared at the blue-haired youth next to Old Su. It's indeed him. Palace Lord! Let me deal with this Zhao Feng, a cold youth in black said in a low tone. He was one of the 3 true mystic rank experts in front of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. This black-robed youth's eyes were deep and mysterious, as if they were a scarlet-black abyss. He gazed at Zhao Feng on the distant mountain peak, his face surging with an irrepressible desire to fight. Lin Tong? If I remember correctly, your heavenly absent I lost to that brat at the Alliance banquet of the 13 clans 2 years ago. A true mystic rank next to him joked. Lin Tong just returned from the Scarlet Moon inheritance not long ago. Even the Palace King is interested in his strength. Chapter 454. on the dark red ship. Lin Tong, wearing a black robe, became the focus of everyone's gazes. The experts of the Iron Dragon Alliance were curious about this new face with an eye bloodline. However, only a small number of people knew Lin Tong's background. Back at the 13 clan gathering, Lin Tong was one of the 4 stars alongside Sang Yue, Su Zixuan, and Ao Yuetian. At that time, Lin Tong's terror was deeply imprinted in the hearts of the younger generation. No one was willing to fight him. However, both Lin Tong and Sang Yue, the number 1 female sword genius of the 13 clans, had become a supporting village. And that person was on a mountain far away. Zhao Feng. 2 years ago, I lost to you at the 13 clan gathering. Now that I've returned from the Scarlet Moon inheritance, I'll take back all the humiliation I suffered. Lin Tong stood at the bow of the ship. His eyes were crimson black and distorted, mysterious and deep. A cold mental energy aura spread through the air and made the hearts of the experts on the ship go cold. At the same time, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's gaze slowly retracted. He was now sure that Zhao Feng was that youth from back then. Facing Lin Tong's request to fight, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord shook his head. You're not his match. Lin Tong's expression froze and his eyes were filled with surprise and unwillingness. However, the person standing in front of him was one of the 4 pillars of the Iron Dragon Alliance, and a protector of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. No one dared to question the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's words. His experience and level exceeded the Cloud Area's understanding. Just as Lin Tong was about to speak, the blue-haired youth on the mountain turned his head and glanced in the direction of the ship with a smile that wasn't a smile. The experts at the True Spirit Realm were in the air, and their eyes were extremely sharp. Seeing this scene, their hearts shook. The youth's left eye was as deep as the ocean, blue and as warm as water. Zhao Feng's actions attracted the attention of Old Su. Looks like my aura at the True Lord rank was too high profile and attracted the attention of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Old Su sighed. Zhao Feng knew that this wasn't the only reason. After returning to the Cloud Area, he had brazenly issued a challenge to the Iron Dragon Alliance. The Blood Scythe Butcher, the 18th Elder, and the 10th Core Elder had all fallen because of Zhao Feng. It wasn't surprising that Zhao Feng's threat and challenge to the Iron Dragon Alliance had attracted the attention of the higher-ups. What really surprised Zhao Feng was that he actually met more than one acquaintance this time. Zhao Feng naturally had a deep impression of the Blood Corpse Branch Protector. Back in the Scarlet Moon Cave, it could be said to be a thrilling battle of wits and courage. As for Lin Tong, he was a strong opponent during the 13 clan gathering 2 years ago. The scene of Zhao Feng, Lin Tong, and Sang Yue working together at the 13 Clans Conference was still fresh in their minds. Old Su, lead the Alliance members to retreat. I will play with them. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. When he woke up this time, the swelling pain in Zhao Feng's left eye was already very light. Within the dimension of his left eye, the water in the pond was 10 yards wide, and the ripples on the surface of the pond warmed his soul. Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power was even more refined than before, and his control over it had reached a whole new level. Okay. I'll be responsible for retreating. Be careful. Old Su had a certain level of confidence in Zhao Feng's strength, and didn't object. After all, the forces of the Iron Dragon Alliance were extremely strong. Apart from Old Su, the rest of them might restrict Zhao Feng's movements. Shua! Old Su's figure flashed and disappeared from the mountain. His voice resounded across the mountain as he led the members of the Dragon-Killing Alliance to retreat. On the mountain, only Zhao Feng was left standing with his hands behind his back. His blue hair blew in the wind and a faint smile appeared on his face. Palace King! The remaining members of the Dragon-Killing Alliance are retreating. There's still one more person! That brat's staying behind to cover their retreat. Chaos broke out on the dark red ship. Everyone from the Dragon-Killing Alliance was retreating, including the true Lord rank Old Su. Only the blue-haired youth remained at the peak of the mountain. He was calm and composed as he faced the people on the ship from afar. This scene caused Lin Tong's heart to skip a beat. At this moment, he couldn't see what level Zhao Feng was at, and the latter's aura was as deep as the ocean. However, just the boldness that the other party displayed was enough to make Lin Tong feel inferior. If they were in Lin Tong's shoes, he would naturally run as far as he could if he were to face such a situation. How would he dare to stay? On the other hand, his opponent from the past had calmly stayed behind to face the Iron Dragon Alliance. Lin Tong wasn't the only one who was moved by Lin Yun's boldness. The other experts on the ship were bewildered as well. What an arrogant brat! He's like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Palace King! Let's start a lightning-fast battle and capture this brat. The remaining members of the Dragon-Killing Alliance won't be able to run far. Some of the true Spirit Realm experts on the ship were filled with killing intent after the surprise passed. Zhao Feng's arrogant actions enraged everyone from the Iron Dragon Alliance. However, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression was dark and filled with killing intent, but he didn't immediately attack. Hee, Protector Blood Corpse, long time no see. How have you been? At the peak of the mountain, the blue-haired youth's laughter was as warm as the wind. It was so clear. At this moment in time, the Dragon-Killing Alliance was also retreating. Both friend and foe could hear Zhao Feng's voice clearly. What's going on? Zhao Feng and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord know each other? Both friend and foe felt that something was wrong. From Zhao Feng's tone, it seemed that he had interacted with the Blood Corpse Palace Lord before. Some even suspected that this seemingly young youth was an old monster that had been asleep for many years. On the ship, the gazes of the entire Iron Dragon Alliance landed on the Blood Corpse Palace Lord and waited for his orders. Old Monster Su has recovered his strength. It's not realistic for him to wipe out the remaining members of the Dragon-Killing Alliance. However, since this brat is the only one left, we'll stay and play with him. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's raspy voice was extremely slow. The hearts of the experts at the true Spirit Realm shook. Those familiar with the Blood Corpse Palace Lord would know that this was a sign that he was about to go all out. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord was extremely vengeful. Once he had his eyes on someone, he would slowly torture his opponent bit by bit. However, wasn't it a bit too much to mobilize the top forces of 2 sub-palaces and a palace lord just to deal with a rising star? Zhao Feng, I admire your courage for daring to stay behind. However, you'll regret your decision for the rest of your life. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord waved the blood-colored flag. Whoosh! The dark red ship stirred up a violent blood-colored gust of wind as it charged toward the summit of the mountain fearlessly. Pass down my order, capture Zhao Feng alive! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord stood at the head of the ship and didn't immediately attack. Even he couldn't see through Zhao Feng's mental energy aura from afar. Although he couldn't judge how strong Zhao Feng was, he was sure that Lin Tong wouldn't be his match. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have battle power close to the true lord rank, how would Zhao Feng dare to stay behind? Understood. The 3 true mystic rank experts on the ship immediately obeyed. They didn't understand what enmity the Blood Corpse Palace Lord had with Zhao Feng for him to use such a large force just to settle a personal grudge. Palace Lord, I'll stall his eye bloodline. Lin Tong volunteered. Everyone was familiar with the characteristics of a rank 1 bounty hunter. The fate of the 10th and 18th Corps Elders was proof of how terrifying Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was. This was why the Alliance had sent Lin Tong this time. So. With Lin Tong at the lead, the 3 true mystic rank experts flew off the ship and closed in on Zhao Feng. Looking down from above, one would see that the 3 true mystic rank groups had formed a semicircle around the mountain. Master! The Iron Dragon Alliance Palace Lord has moved out, but Zhao Feng is staying behind by himself. I'm afraid. Princess Jean looked back as she retreated. Seeing the blue-haired youth face off against the Iron Dragon Alliance's army by himself, she felt uneasy and couldn't bear to see him do this. Jean, don't worry. Zhao Feng is just playing with them, and I'll take care of him. Old Su smiled faintly. Playing with them? Princess Jin's eyes were full of surprise. She couldn't imagine that such words would come from her master's mouth. Right at this moment, the battle between the two sides was about to start. Scarlet Demon Moon Eye. Lin Tong was a few miles away. His eyes were twisted, and a blood-red crescent moon shape could be vaguely seen in them. Slaughter, blood, gloominess, brutality. All sorts of negative and dark aura seemed to be condensed in the faintly discernible blood moon. In the pupil, transforming into an invisible force that could slash through the void. At this moment in time, the true spirit realm experts next to Lin Tong trembled. A blood-colored crescent moon pierced through the clouds and slashed toward the blue-haired youth in the air. Lin Tong's every action obviously didn't escape Zhao Feng's eyes. He had to admit that Lin Tong's eye bloodline had reached an unparalleled level in terms of skill and power. This Scarlet Demon Moon Eye was obviously a profound eye bloodline skill that gathered all sorts of negative mental energy into a power of the Tao of blood that could corrode one's soul. If it was someone at the true spirit realm, or even some at the true mystic rank, their soul would be instantly shattered by this move. In terms of the power of his eye bloodline, Lin Tong was even on par with the Three Great Eyes from the Sacred True Dragon Gathering several months ago. The successors of the Sacred True Dragon Gathering were on par. Shwa! The Scarlet Demon Moon Eye's powerful mental energy blood moon slashed into Zhao Feng's soul and instantly corroded his mental energy world. Lin Tong and the other two at the true mystic rank revealed joyful expressions. Unexpectedly, Zhao Feng remained motionless on the summit. He didn't defend or retreat. What's going on? Lin Tong's figure suddenly froze. Soon after, the surprise on his face turned into intense shock and panic. The Scarlet Demon Moon Eye just then was like a rock sinking into the ocean, not even causing a ripple. Zhao Feng completely ignored Lin Tong's attack. In the dimension of his left eye, the dark blue eye bloodline in the pond started to ripple and absorb the blood-colored crescent moon. The softest thing in the world was water. The power of water, encompassing and absorbing, was vast and boundless. Lin Tong's attack just now was like a pebble thrown into a lake. It didn't cause any harm to him. Chapter 455. He directly ignored my Scarlet Demon Moon Eye. Could his soul and eye power have reached the level of being able to contain the ocean? Lin Tong's body froze in midair as shock spread across his face. Zhao Feng didn't even defend against the eye bloodline attack just then and ignored it. Simply put, Lin Tong's eye bloodline wasn't enough to break through Zhao Feng's mental energy defense. So at the same time, the other two true mystic ranks led their respective groups and charged toward Zhao Feng. According to the plan, Lin Tong was responsible for restraining Zhao Feng's eye bloodline while the other two true mystic ranks attacked. Blade of Wind and Lightning. Zhao Feng lightly exclaimed as a blade of wind condensed in his palm. He used a unique method to control the heaven-earth-wind-lightning yuan qi. Not good, retreat! The expression of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord changed dramatically. It was clear that with his insight, he could naturally see how powerful Zhao Feng's every move was, and the intent of his battle skills was extraordinary. However, his warning was a bit too late. It could be said that Zhao Feng's attack speed had reached a level where even his warning couldn't be avoided. When the wind blade, which was surrounded by lightning, split into two. After breaking through the air, it suddenly blossomed with a dazzling and sharp lightning. It reached a length of 70 to 80 feet and did not dissipate. In that instant, the sharp howl of the wind pierced into the soul. Bam! Bam! Before the two true mystic ranks could react, their heads and blood splattered everywhere. The entire process happened in just a few breaths. Lin Tong's attack had just been completed and was ignored by Zhao Feng. Immediately following that, Zhao Feng's casual attack killed the two true mystic rank leaders. This scene caused Lin Tong and the other elites of the Iron Dragon Alliance to take in a cold breath. Lin Tong couldn't help but hiccup. Not only had Zhao Feng's eye bloodline reached a level that he couldn't see through, his skills were also terrifying. The two true mystic ranks just now were both core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance, and were ranked within the top 15. If it were Lin Tong, Without using his eye bloodline techniques, he would at most be able to fight to a draw with one of them. However, these two powerhouses were killed by Zhao Feng as easily as slicing carrots. "Ha, loser, hurry up and die." Zhao Feng stood with his hands clasped behind his back, looking ahead. A loser! Lin Tong's heart trembled. He felt as if he had fallen into a bottomless abyss. Humiliation and defeat enveloped his heart. "You!" Lin Tong gritted his teeth and raised his head, preparing to fight to the death one last time. However, the moment he raised his head, he was slightly stunned. Because the blue-haired figure on the mountain peak hadn't even glanced at him. Including this moment. "Junior, don't be so arrogant. In the past, when Japan had just recovered, you took advantage of it." The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's hateful voice came from behind. As soon as these words came out, both sides were stunned. What's going on?" Many people were slightly taken aback. Lin Tong's hands trembled. His humiliation was mixed with embarrassment and shock. A loser. It turned out that Zhao Feng's words were targeted at the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. As for Lin Tong, he was ignored from the beginning. The opponent that Zhao Feng had locked onto was the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. It was hard to imagine that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, one of the giants of the Alliance, was someone that Zhao Feng had once defeated. Therefore, this was why Zhao Feng had such a mocking smile. "So that's how it is. Zhao Feng, it looks like I've still underestimated you." Elder Su, who had retreated a distance away, didn't leave immediately. Instead, he wanted to take care of Zhao Feng. However, he found that he was just being paranoid. Only now did Elder Su understand what Zhao Feng meant by playing around. "Junior! Let me see how much you've improved in 2 years." The Blood Corpse Palace Lord turned into a streak of purple and blood-colored light and charged toward Zhao Feng. Whoosh! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's speed was as fast as lightning. Many people present were unable to see his trajectory. In just a few blinks of an eye, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord arrived in front of Zhao Feng. A heavy aura pressed down on Zhao Feng like an invisible mountain. "So this Blood Corpse Division Protector is the same as Emogon of the Black Cliff Palace. They both cultivate the Corpse Tao. However, this Blood Corpse Palace Lord has merged with the Tao of Blood." Zhao Feng could see everything with his left eye. In terms of strength, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord and Emogon shouldn't be much different, but the former was obviously more cunning. Crack! The mountain peak, which was close to 100 zhang tall, exploded with a loud rumble, causing billowing dust and smoke to rise. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's terrifying palms split apart the mountain, and the power was extremely concentrated. Otherwise, the mountain would have collapsed. Boom! A bolt of lightning whistled through the air above Zhao Feng's head. Zhao Feng's figure turned into lightning and pierced through a radius of 1 to 2 miles. Arg! Arg! Blood-curdling screams came from the vicinity of the blood-colored ship. Every time the wind-piercing and lightning rumbling in the void moved, it would reap 1 or 2 lives, accompanied by blood sputtering. "Bastard! Hand over your life!" The Blood Corpse Palace Lord was enraged as he turned into a streak of purple and blood-colored light and chased after Zhao Feng. However, he had no advantage over Zhao Feng in terms of speed. Zhao Feng's figure flashed through the air as he comprehended the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet in his mind. The Wind Lightning Stone Tablet was the inheritance of the Wind Lightning Emperor. It was said to be the fastest emperor's inheritance. Zhao Feng's mental energy level was only higher than the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's. Although his cultivation hadn't broken through to the True Lord rank yet, his ability to summon Heaven Earth Yuan Shi wasn't far off. Suddenly, Zhao Feng's speed had reached a peak, and he completely ignored the Blood Corpse Palace Lord as he slaughtered the elites of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Ayah! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord was enraged and almost lost his mind. He could only watch as Zhao Feng killed his subordinates one by one. What made him feel helpless was that Zhao Feng's speed was always a bit faster than his, and he seemed to be able to move with ease. Zhao Feng's speed easily surpassed the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's, and with the god's spiritual eye's control, even one or two more Blood Corpse Palace lords wouldn't be able to stop him. In the next instant, the Blood Corpse Palace lords' subordinates were almost all dead. Apart from Lin Tong, all the upper echelon members of the true spirit realm had been slaughtered. When Zhao Feng killed his targets, there was no emotion in his eyes at all. It was as if he was facing a skeleton. What made the Blood Corpse Palace Lord even angrier was that when Zhao Feng killed his subordinates, he would occasionally close his eyes as if he was comprehending something. Preposterous! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's lungs were about to explode from anger. It seemed that Zhao Feng was using his subordinates to train his skills. In just a short span of 20 breaths, Zhao Feng's control of the power of wind lightning had improved significantly. In his head, the surface of the tattered wind thunder steel was surrounded by even more colorful electric patterns. The meaning of the patterns was deduced and connected to a desolate, broken wind thunder world. Zhao Feng could only comprehend the tip of the iceberg at this point. Shua! At a certain moment, Zhao Feng found that apart from the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, there was no one else. Only Lin Tong's trembling figure was hidden in the cracks of the cliff. Lin Tong understood that Zhao Feng must have done this on purpose or else he wouldn't have been left alive. Blood Corpse Palace Lord, your subordinates are all dead. A playful smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression was grim, and the hatred and killing intent in his eyes seemed to materialize. However, he didn't lose his mind. After a short moment of rage, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord calmed down. He had investigated Zhao Feng's eye bloodline and knew that it was hard to defend against it. Zhao Feng specialized in mental energy illusions and mental energy attacks. At this moment in time, the dragon-killing alliance had retreated. As the dust settled, only Zhao Feng and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord were left facing each other. After staring at each other for a while, the two suddenly attacked. Bam! Shwa! A purple and blood-colored light and a ball of lightning clashed in the air. Bam! 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 The clash between the two was extremely concentrated, and the shockwave didn't exceed 20 yards. In just a few flashes, the two figures separated. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes were filled with hatred as scorch marks were left on his body. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's physical strength is really strong. It's on the same level as Emogon from the Black Cliff Palace. Attacks from true Lord ranks can't do anything to him. Zhao Feng murmured in his heart. In the clash of the two, Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed. However, in terms of pure strength, Zhao Feng didn't have the advantage at all. All in all, he still had the initiative and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord could only take a beating. Without using the god's spiritual eye, it looks like I'll have to break through to the true Lord rank to increase my battle power. Zhao Feng's heart was clear. So, after a slight pause, Zhao Feng's figure disappeared once more. Wind howled and thunder howled in the air. Zhao Feng's control over the power of wind lightning was becoming more and more adept, and his speed and power were both increasing. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord howled. His powerful secret techniques were easily countered by Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye. Speed was the only thing that couldn't be countered. Once Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed and the control of the god's spiritual eye, he was basically undefeatable. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's defense was extremely strong. If it was a normal true Lord rank, Zhao Feng would have killed him already. If it wasn't for the fact that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord cultivated the Tao of Blood, Zhao Feng would have been able to instantly kill him with his dark silver ghost corpse. Lightning Fire God's Eye. Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly turned azure and with a half-transparent flame of wind and lightning landed on the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. The current Lightning Fire God's Eye, in its azure state, formed the flames of wind and lightning, making its attacks even more violent. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord screamed as lightning and fire wreaked havoc around his body. The attack pierced through both the physical and mental energy dimensions. What a terrifying offensive eye bloodline technique! Zhao Feng's eye bloodline can withstand it. Lin Tong, who was in the mountain crack, had a shocking, expression on his face when he saw this peerlessly powerful eye flame attack. He, who cultivated eye bloodline techniques, naturally knew that the more powerful an eye bloodline technique was, the more it required the eye bloodline to be able to withstand it. Furthermore, what Zhao Feng used wasn't just a simple eye bloodline, but a lightning fire god's eye. Lightning and fire countered the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's Tao of Blood Corpse. Seeing the lightning fire god's eye force the Blood Corpse Palace Lord into a life and death situation, even Zhao Feng was surprised. Chapter 456. In the air. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's blood Tao refined corpse body was covered in a half-transparent lightning, fire, and wind. Lightning and fire crackled and crackled, leaving behind scorch marks. The powerful wind lightning eye flame pierced straight into his soul. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's screams made Lin Tong's heart jump. He couldn't believe that one of the four pillars of the Alliance, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, an old monster from the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, would be forced to such a state by a new star's eye flame. Zhao Feng was surprised by the change in the lightning fire god's eye. After thinking for a while, he understood the reason. The wind lightning stone tablet he had comprehended had merged into his source of true spirit through his root of law. This meant that the flame of true spirit within Zhao Feng's body was becoming closer to the element of wind lightning. His flame of true spirit could become the wind lightning true fire. However, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's strength wasn't to be underestimated. He took the wind lightning eye flame head-on without any defenses and didn't die. If it was a weaker True Lord rank, they would have lost a layer of skin even if they didn't die. Blood Corpse Flame! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes flickered with scarlet flames as his cold voice echoed through the mountains. Whoosh! The Blood Corpse's body, which was covered by the silver-patterned cloth, suddenly burst into a crimson-purple bloody flame. It was dark and heavy, accompanied by an extremely cold wind. Instantly, the scarlet-purple flame covered his body and slowly dissipated the eroding lightning, fire, and wind flames. Zhao Feng felt the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's aura rise dramatically. The Corpse Tao True Fire within his body countered his own wind lightning true fire. He snickered coldly and prepared to use another lightning fire god's eye. Even if it couldn't kill the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, it would at least make him panic. However, the moment Zhao Feng circulated his eye bloodline power, he felt a swelling pain and fatigue rise. After all, the god's spiritual eye hadn't fully stabilized yet, so he couldn't use it too much. The wind lightning eye flame that Zhao Feng had just used was extremely taxing on his eye bloodline, so he couldn't keep using it. Even under normal circumstances, Zhao Feng could only use the wind lightning eye flame 3 times. In the short span of 1 or 2 breaths, the flames on the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's body disappeared, and blood flowed on its surface. His wounds quickly healed, and almost no obvious wounds could be seen. What a strong recovery ability! Zhao Feng's expression finally changed. He realized that he had underestimated the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. After all, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord was a protector of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion in the past. He had been revived since the era of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion patriarch. How could his strength be so simple? It was now certain that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's mastery of the Corpse Tao was stronger than Mo Gan of the Black Cliff Palace. Mo Gan came from an enormous 2-star sect. His inheritance and strength couldn't be said to be weak. However, he was only a rising star after all. He was only around 30 years old. On the other hand, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord had lived for several hundred years and had merged the Blood Tao and Corpse Tao. Corpse Path excelled in defense, immunity to poison, tyrannical strength, and strong survivability. On the other hand, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's corrosive and recovery abilities were strong. When these two were combined, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's battle power would surpass the True Lord rank and might even be close to the Deputy Patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. Jaja. Brat, you think you can kill me with just a measly eye flame? If it was so easy, I would have been killed by the 10 great clans several hundred years ago. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord licked his lips and said darkly. Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he floated in the air. This situation wasn't out of his expectations. If it was so easy to kill the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, he would feel that it wasn't real. Hee, then let's continue. Zhao Feng laughed instead of being surprised and disappeared with a whoosh. The next instant, lightning flashed through the air and circled around the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. The battle started once again. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord roared in anger. He didn't think that Zhao Feng would be so hard to deal with. With his mastery of the Tao of Blood Corpse, he wasn't afraid of a long battle. However, Zhao Feng's mysterious eye bloodline still made the Blood Corpse Palace Lord uneasy. The Wind Lightning Eye flame just now didn't seem to do any actual damage to the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, but it had left some hidden injuries in his body, especially his soul. What shocked the Blood Corpse Palace Lord the most was that Zhao Feng didn't seem to have any desire to kill. In fact, he seemed to be unconcerned. Zhao Feng focused on training himself and consolidating his mental energy while cultivating the Wind Lightning Stone tablet. Brat, I won't play with you anymore. As long as you're still in the cloud area, you won't be able to escape the Iron Dragon Alliance. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord wanted to retreat. The injury to his soul from the Wind Lightning Eye flame started to show. In terms of speed, his opponent had the upper hand and was completely playing with him. The initiative was in Zhao Feng's hands, so the Blood Corpse Palace Lord wisely retreated. You want to run? It won't be that easy. Zhao Feng laughed lightly, and his figure flashed across the sky as he chased after the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Whoosh! Whoosh! Two powerful auras, one in front and one behind, passed through the clouds and into the forests and rivers, causing dust to tremble. They're finally gone! Lin Tong, who was in the mountain, was covered in sweat. He concealed his aura and prepared to escape. However, the moment he moved, he felt a weight on his shoulder. Meow meow! A silver-gray thieving cat slightly bigger than a palm stood on his shoulder, and a whip covered in blood-colored runes wrapped around his body. What does that Zhao Feng want by keeping me here? Lin Tong's heart went cold. He couldn't move after being bound by the mystic snake blood whip, and he was about to turn around and use an eye bloodline technique. Pa! A cat's paw slapped Lin Tong's face, leaving a burning red mark. Not only that. Although the strength of the cat's claw wasn't too strong, there was an indescribable dizziness that made Lin Tong feel dizzy and disoriented, completely unable to find his bearings. At the same time, Zhao Feng chased after the Blood Corpse Palace Lord for dozens of miles. Those at the True Lord rank could fly 100 or 200 miles, and it wasn't hard for them to fly for 1,000 or 2,000 miles. Zhao Feng didn't chase after victory, and he continued to comprehend the Wind Lightning Stone tablet. A layer of azure wind started to form around his body, as if it was a transparent barrier. In this state, the resistance against Zhao Feng's flight decreased. Chiu! Layers of electric waves blossomed from the soles of his feet, creating an invisible force field. His flight prowess increased by another level. These laws seemed to be compatible with heaven and earth. The Wind Lightning Stone tablet is as deep as the ocean. I can't comprehend even 1% of the inheritance in a short amount of time. Half of Zhao Feng's mind was immersed in the tattered world of Wind Lightning. With the god's spiritual eye, he could multitask and memorize everything he saw. Of course, this was also because the Blood Corpse Palace Lord wasn't several levels higher than Zhao Feng, or else Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to multitask. Brat! You only have yourself to blame, so don't blame me for paying any price. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord gritted his teeth, and his expression was extremely grim. Zhao Feng, who was hot on his heels, suddenly felt a violent aura attack him. Blood Corpse burning! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's body started to burn and release a bright blood-colored light that illuminated everything within 10 miles. In an instant, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's aura rose. With the naked eye, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord seemed to have turned into a blood-colored sun. A cold and domineering fiendish light surged out and engulfed everything within a mile. Chiu, the light formed by the blood corpse burning void was as fast as lightning as it charged towards Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. The blood corpse palace lord's battle power was probably comparable to Yi Yanyu and Zhuang Wan'er. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was restricted and his cultivation hadn't reached the true lord rank yet, so he was at a disadvantage in a head-on clash. At this critical moment, Zhao Feng didn't lose his calm. Break! Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly turned into a freezing pond. At the same time, a layer of ice-blue blood appeared in his body and started to circulate in a strange path. Suddenly, when Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind as a tall figure appeared behind him. It had a crown on its head and a black sword in its hand. Below it was a throne of ice. After the sacred true dragon gathering and the purple saint ruins, Zhao Feng's bloodline was much stronger than before. Ice lightning raging dragon. Zhao Feng thrust out his palm and wind and lightning boomed. The figure behind him waved the black sword in its hand. A soul-penetrating cold tempest assaulted Xiao Chen's face, forming a berserk wind dragon made of interweaving ice and lightning, rampaging and tyrannical. Back in the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng had used this move to send the Wicked Teeth trio flying. But now, Zhao Feng's cultivation, technique, inheritance, and bloodline usage were all on a whole new level. Bam! 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 The two forces intertwined. About half a breath later, the cold blood-colored light seemed to have the upper hand and pressed toward Zhao Feng. After all, the blood corpse burning was the blood corpse palace lord's life-saving technique, and he had to pay a big price to use it. Bam! Bam! Zhao Feng's figure retreated 100 or 200 yards as his blue hair blew in the wind. Eye change! Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye changed once more and formed a patch of blue water. I wonder how strong the eye of water is. Zhao Feng quickly circulated the serene blue water within his body. Normally, the power of water was better at defense. Who knew what the corresponding bloodline power would be like? Bo! A beautiful rippling blue screen appeared around Zhao Feng's body and covered his entire body. It was like a dream water world that flashed with lightning and wind. Shu, the light of blood-colored light hit the blue water screen and created a ripple. There was no explosion, and it seemed abnormally calm. Zhao Feng's figure seemed to be in the deep ocean and didn't move. What was even more incredible was that the ripple created by the blue water screen had mysterious lines that seemed to be flowing back to the ancient times. This power was even more encompassing than the Frost family bloodline. It absorbed the Blood Corpse Palace King's secret art as much as possible. Chapter 457. In the air. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's body released a dazzling blood-colored light as if he was a blood-colored sun. Pew 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 pew, a dominating bloody light swept across everything within a mile radius. On the other side, Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind as a deep blue screen of water appeared around him and absorbed the blood-colored light. At this moment, although Zhao Feng was on the passive side, he seemed to be standing in the middle of the ocean, as calm as a lake. The bloodline power of the Eye of Water does indeed specialize in defense. The result was within Zhao Feng's expectations. In reality, ice and water were the same type of power. The only difference was their form. If it was before the god's spiritual eyes change, Zhao Feng probably wouldn't be able to block the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's attack head-on. Humph! It's not that simple. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's dark and raspy voice sounded from the blood-colored sun. Chiu, suddenly. The blood-colored sun formed by the Blood Corpse Palace Lord charged at Zhao Feng with speed 2 to 3 times faster than normal. This protector blood corpse doesn't want to live. Zhao Feng's heart shook as his body went cold. He felt a sense of danger. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's current state was similar to burning his chi of true spirit, but it was more stable under the Blood Corpse burn state. Shwa! A ripple of water appeared on Zhao Feng's body as he quickly retreated and circulated his bloodline power and chi of true spirit to the maximum. Die! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's cold face twisted as he gritted his teeth and thrust his arm forward. Crack! A blood-colored light blossomed as one of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's arms broke off and turned into a pillar of blood that shot towards Zhao Feng. What? Zhao Feng jumped up in fright as the god's spiritual eye locked onto him. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord had sacrificed an arm to unleash a terrifying move that surpassed his own cultivation. Blood Corpse broken arm! The broken arm turned into a pillar of blood that shot into the sky. A bright blood-colored light accompanied by scarlet-purple lines spread across the sky. Not good! Scarlet Moon's secret technique! Even Elder Su, who was far away, sensed such a powerful attack and couldn't help but break out in cold sweat for Zhao Feng. At the critical moment, Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye and controlled the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's move to the extreme. However, among all the moves in the world, only speed was unbeatable. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's terrifying speed exceeded his own level. Those at the True Lord rank couldn't dodge it unless they were at Lu Tiany's level. Zhao Feng's mind could keep up, but his body was struggling. Sure, the pillar of blood brushed past Zhao Feng's body and passed by him. Pop! The magnificent deep blue water curtain on the surface of Zhao Feng's body rippled, suddenly dimmed, and broke with a crack. Fortunately, the water bloodline's powerful defense helped Zhao Feng absorb most of the impact. Bang! Zhao Feng's body flipped in the air, and he was forced back dozens of feet. There was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth, and he barely managed to stabilize his body. Injured? Zhao Feng's expression was slightly grim as he calmed his blood flow. He didn't expect the Blood Corpse Palace Lord to give up an arm and pay a heavy price to counterattack. Zhao Feng's injuries weren't light, but his expression didn't change. No matter how heavy his injuries were, he had the life-returning grass and the elixir of life, which was equivalent to a second life. Suddenly, Zhao Feng felt an abnormality in his body and the power of his water bloodline. D. A layer of blue water flowed through Zhao Feng's body like the rain of spring and moistened his organs. This is... Zhao Feng could only feel that his injuries were quickly recovering. The most obvious was the wounds on his body, which were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. There wasn't even a scar left. That was great! Zhao Feng was overjoyed. Although the power of the water bloodline didn't have the speed reduction of ice, it specialized in defense, healing, and healing. This bloodline ability was used to its fullest on Zhao Feng. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's bloodline also had a similar healing ability. However, the healing ability of Zhao Feng's water bloodline was clearly stronger than the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's. This brat's bloodline can change between ice and water. This healing ability, how is it possible? Waves rose in the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's heart. The change in the god's spiritual eye allowed Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power to change between ice and water. Zhao Feng's bloodline power was a byproduct of the god's spiritual eye. His bloodline power had turned ice into water. Not only was his defense even stronger, it also had incredible nourishing and healing abilities. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord had paid a great price to give Zhao Feng injuries, but the latter recovered in the blink of an eye. My injuries have healed! Zhao Feng was overjoyed and couldn't suppress it. In comparison, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's face was purple, and his expression was dark and ugly. How is this possible? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord almost spat out blood. However, he didn't lose his mind. He used the remaining power of the Blood Corpse burn to turn into a bloody mist and escape. At this moment, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord had lost an arm and paid a great price, but he hadn't been able to cause any real damage to Zhao Feng. He couldn't calm down, and he felt helpless. Zhao Feng floated in the air and didn't immediately give chase. The water bloodline has good healing abilities. I wonder if the god's spiritual eye can heal injuries to the soul? Zhao Feng thought about it. Most of the theories behind his eye bloodline techniques were based on the Ball of Eye Soul and the Dark Eye Incomplete page. The Ball of Eye Soul had led Zhao Feng to the door of the ancient Tao of the Soul, which allowed him to heal the soul. Of course, this was just one of Zhao Feng's thoughts. He needed to find out more about his eye bloodline techniques. A few breaths later, a smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face as he watched the Blood Corpse Palace Lord leave. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord let out a breath. Why isn't this Zhao Feng chasing anymore? If Zhao Feng chased after him, the result would be unknown. However, one thing was certain. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord had lost an arm, and his battle power was greatly reduced. The situation was very bad for him. So, a while later, the sound of flying could be heard. The newcomer was an elder with white eyebrows. It was Old Su, and he let out a breath when he saw that Zhao Feng was fine. He killed an entire group led by a palace lord of the Iron Dragon Alliance by himself. It's hard to imagine that he's a prodigy from the Cloud area. Old Su sighed with a complicated expression. In the end, he had still underestimated this youth. Seeing that Zhao Feng was fine, Old Su knew that his worries were unnecessary. If the two of us teamed up just then, we still had a high chance of killing the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Old Su couldn't help but say regretfully. If he knew that Zhao Feng was so strong, Old Su would have stayed and killed the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. If the Iron Dragon Alliance lost a true Lord rank Palace Lord, it would be a big blow. I'm not interested in killing him right now. I'll play with the Iron Dragon Alliance this time. Zhao Feng's eyes squinted as he watched the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's figure disappear into the sky. When Elder Su heard this, he immediately rolled his eyes and was speechless. It seemed that Zhao Feng was still holding back. From what he said, it wouldn't be hard for him to kill the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Thinking about it, Zhao Feng didn't even use his 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. This youth had returned from an inheritance, and his soul was as vast as the ocean. His eye bloodline was unfathomable. Just how many more hidden cards did he have? Old Su couldn't help but smile bitterly. He couldn't guess Zhao Feng's intentions. Killing the Blood Corpse Palace Lord won't change the overall situation much. My goal is to destroy the Iron Dragon Alliance. Zhao Feng's heart was calm. So. Zhao Feng and Old Su talked for a while before returning. Old Su, I'll be returning to the 13 countries now. Zhao Feng said his goodbyes. Zhao Feng wouldn't directly join the Dragon Killing Alliance or lead it. Zhao Feng only needed the information network of the Dragon Killing Alliance, as well as to clean up the mess and take care of the aftermath. A while later, Zhao Feng landed near a cliff. Meow meow! The little thieving cat waved its mystic snake blood whip and threw the bound Lin Tong in front of Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng! Lin Tong hiccuped. At this moment, Zhao Feng was calm and indifferent. He had returned unscathed. Lin Tong's heart shook. Zhao Feng hadn't been injured in the battle with the Blood Corpse Palace Lord at all. From this, one could imagine that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord was at a disadvantage. Where did you get your inheritance and new eye bloodline technique? Zhao Feng asked. Lin Tong's heart trembled as he struggled. Your eye bloodline can't resist me at all. I can get the answer I want from you without any effort. Zhao Feng said slowly. You! Lin Tong gritted his teeth. He didn't dare to doubt Zhao Feng's words at all. Their eye bloodlines and attainments weren't on the same level. Of course, Lin Tong didn't know that Zhao Feng didn't dare to use his eye bloodline technique right now. He had to wait until he went to sleep. What's your relationship with the Moon Demon Palace? Zhao Feng said coldly. Moon Demon Palace? How do you know about the Moon Demon Sacred Palace? It's the core sacred land of the Scarlet Moon Inheritance. Lin Tong's expression changed dramatically. Scarlet Moon Inheritance? You came back from the Scarlet Moon Inheritance? Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. No wonder Lin Tong's cultivation and eye bloodline had increased so much. He had entered one of the 4 great inheritances, the Scarlet Moon Inheritance. However, Scarlet Moon Demonic Religion, Scarlet Moon Inheritance, and Moon Demon Palace. What was the relationship between these 3? Half a month later. In a desolate desert. Whoosh! A dim blood-red radiance fell into a huge and awe-inspiring ancient castle in the desert. The blood-colored light landed on the ground and revealed the weak figure of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. At the same time, a large blood-blue bird descended from the sky. The blood-blue bird's aura was strong and had reached the true mystic rank. True Lord Tai Shao, it's you? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's footsteps paused as he looked at the two figures on the blood-blue bird. So. Two figures jumped down from the blood-blue bird. One of them was a black-robed youth who held a metal fan. His skin gave off a cold metallic aura. I just came back from the sacred true dragon gathering. Blood Corpse Palace Lord, what happened to you? Why are you so heavily injured? This black-robed youth was true Lord Tai Shao. 2 years ago at the Dragon Concealing Lake, he had forced the upper echelon elders of the 12 clans to sign a blood contract. Next to true Lord Tai Shao was a black-robed youth with an expressionless face. Chapter 458. In the middle of the desert. A huge and gloomy castle had merged with the yellow sand. Piles of bones could be seen everywhere in the surroundings. It was a ghastly sight. In front of the castle, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord and the two people on the blood-blue bird met. True Lord Tai Shao was full of surprise as he looked at the ruffled Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Not only was the latter heavily injured, he had also lost an arm. The black-robed youth on the side was also surprised and clucked his tongue. This Blood Corpse Palace Lord from the Scarlet Moon demonic religion is famous for being cunning and vicious. His status is one of the highest amongst the 4 palace lords. When did he end up like this? Blood Corpse Palace Lord, who injured you like this? Under true Lord Tiexiao's questioning, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord finally spoke with hatred and told what had happened in a few sentences. Of course, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord didn't say much about how he was defeated, as if he didn't want to mention such a thing in front of true Lord Tai Shao, who was also a palace lord. Although the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's words were simple, true Lord Tai Shao could tell how intense the situation was from the small amount of information. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord led 2 elites from the sub-palaces, and they were all slaughtered. Even the Blood Corpse Palace Lord was heavily injured and only managed to escape. All of this was done by a youth. True Lord Tai Shao and the expressionless youth's faces were filled with shock. If it was an older true lord rank who could do this, they could barely accept it. However, the person who did all of this was just a youth. When did such a monstrous genius appear in the cloud area? Who's that youth? True Lord Tai Shao didn't seem to believe it. He had just returned from the sacred true dragon gathering and had seen all kinds of geniuses. A nobody called Zhao Feng. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord said angrily before turning around and leaving, unwilling to talk about it. Zhao Feng! What? It's him? The expressions of true Lord Tai Shao and the expressionless youth changed dramatically as they exclaimed. It was obvious that the name, Zhao Feng, had given the two a great shock. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's footsteps paused as he squinted his eyes with a weird expression. Do you know this brat? Not only do I know. It seemed that Sir Blood Zombie didn't understand the situation. He wasn't a nobody. On the contrary, he's already a heaven's favorite whose name shakes the entire continent. True Lord Tiexiao's tone was solemn as he let out a breath. After returning from the sacred true dragon gathering, true Lord Tai Shao and true Lord Tai Shao understood Zhao Feng very well. What was going on? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression darkened. True Lord Tai Shao didn't hesitate anymore, and told him about Xiao Feng's performance in the sacred true dragon gathering. During this process, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression was extremely colorful. In the end, it was filled with shock. Hiss! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord sucked in a cold breath. He never thought that the young man he fought with would be the heaven's favorite of this era. This generation's sacred true dragon gathering was at its peak. Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao were called the overwhelming prodigy kings. They surpassed countless geniuses of dozens of generations and made history pale. Maybe only legendary figures like the Scarlet Moon Patriarch and Sword Saint Yi Wuxia could compare to these two overwhelming prodigy kings when they were young. I didn't think that this brat's strength would increase so dramatically after returning from the inheritance. True Lord Taishao sighed. However, thinking about how the other overwhelming prodigy king, Yu Tianhao, had reached the early stage True Lord rank after returning to the continent, and made the hearts of normal True Lord ranks shake, True Lord Taishao understood. Facing such a terrifying overwhelming prodigy king, True Lord Taishao and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord both felt that the situation was troublesome. One or two True Lord ranks probably won't be able to kill this brat. We need to team up with several True Lord ranks in order to have any hope. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's hateful expression was slowly replaced by solemnity. Knowing what Zhao Feng had done in the sacred True Dragon Gathering, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord felt slightly better. If we can't kill a genius of this level, the threat he poses in the future is immeasurable. We need to plan carefully. If we want to have 100% chance, it's best if we can invite the division leader. True Lord Taishao suggested. Division leader? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's face instantly revealed deep respect. He was just a protector of a subdivision in the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, and his status was just below the chapter leader. However, in the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, only those at the division leader level could be considered to be in the upper echelon. In the past, the Scarlet Moon demonic religion had 12 divisions and 108 subdivisions that had almost destroyed the entire continent. At their peak, the 12 divisions could even fight against the 10 great clans of the continent. Both True Lord Taishao and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord didn't doubt that if they could invite the division leader, killing Zhao Feng wouldn't be a problem at all. However, for a trivial genius junior, inviting a Hall Master level big shot of Chi was simply making a big fuss over a minor issue. Doing so might even cause the Hall Master to be displeased. The division leader has been recovering his strength for the past 2 years. We can't ask him to take action until the very last moment. Furthermore, the Iron Dragon Alliance has 4 palace lords and the hidden forces of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. As long as we don't face the 10 great clans, we don't need to be afraid of anything. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord shook his head. Although Zhao Feng was strong, his threat was only at the True Lord rank. That's right. We need to contact the 2 palace kings, Nether Dragon and Bai Ji, as soon as possible. True Lord Taishao nodded his head. So. The 3 figures quickly tore through the air and flew into the castle. In the air, True Lord Tiexiao's footsteps suddenly stopped. Moi, if I remember correctly, that brat called Zhao Feng seems to come from the same clan as you. True Lord Tiexiao's eyes were emotionless. As soon as this was said, a sharp light flashed through the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes as he looked at the silent, old-fashioned youth. This black-robed youth was Moi of the Broken Moon clan who had returned from the sacred True Dragon Gathering. Hearing this, Moi smiled bitterly and nodded his head helplessly. Several days later, on the border of the 2 strong countries, near a small river. How long did I sleep for? A lazy voice sounded. With a whoosh, a blue-haired youth climbed out of the sand and shook off the sand on his body. 25 days. Lin Tong, dressed in black, thought for a while and said solemnly. Ever since he was captured by the little thieving cat, Lin Tong had become a prisoner. After saying goodbye to Old Su, Zhao Feng headed toward the 13 countries. However, less than half a day later, Zhao Feng fell asleep once again. In this period of time, Lin Tong waited on the side and didn't dare to make any strange movements. Lin Tong knew the weird abilities of the little thieving cat. It could appear out of nowhere at any time and make him dizzy. Lin Tong's fear of the little thieving cat was far greater than his master, Zhao Feng. I can't stay here any longer. Zhao Feng stretched and summoned the azure sharp swallow from his ancient metal ring. When Zhao Feng woke up this time, he felt that the pain from his left eye had lessened to the point where it was almost undetectable. He was sure his eye bloodline's condition had stabilized. However, in the space of his left eye, the pond was still close to 100 feet as it spun. Zhao Feng understood that he was only half a step away from the god's spiritual eye. The change between ice and water was just a small transition, and there wasn't much of a change in quality. Furthermore, Zhao Feng felt that his cultivation could break through to the true Lord rank at any time, and he didn't need to purposely go into seclusion. If I can break through to the true Lord rank, my battle power and foundation will increase. However, I need to return to the Broken Moon clan as soon as possible. Zhao Feng sat on the azure sharp swallow and soared into the clouds. On the azure sharp swallow was the captive Lin Tong. Lin Tong! Zhao Feng's left eye started to ripple. Lin Tong hiccuped, and the next instant, he felt a strong surge of mental energy from Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye drill into his soul. No, no! Lin Tong struggled in panic. He was proficient in the eye bloodline, especially when it came to the mental aspect. He naturally understood the importance of the soul. The soul was the soul of a human, the origin of all living beings. Once the soul was tainted, the result would be unimaginable. However, Zhao Feng's power didn't allow him to resist. Dark Heart Seed! The ripple in Zhao Feng's left eye twisted and shot out a dark blue droplet the size of a sesame seed. Chiyo, the mysterious dark blue droplet, instantly merged into Lin Tong's soul. This Dark Heart Seed will monitor your every move, including your thoughts and consciousness. You won't be able to escape my senses within 10,000 miles. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. A soul technique like the Dark Heart Seed came from the Ball of Eye Soul and the Dark Eye Incomplete page. The Ball of Eye Soul contained the knowledge of the ancient Tao of the Eye Soul, which gave Zhao Feng some understanding of the soul and allowed him to absorb the essence of the Tao of the Eye Soul. The Dark Eye Incomplete page was only an incomplete page. Although Zhao Feng couldn't use it to learn the legendary Dark Eye of Death, it still contained many sinister and vicious theories of eye techniques. Dark Heart Seed? What do you want me to do? Lin Tong felt uneasy and fearful. Something had entered his soul, but he couldn't reject it, and didn't dare to do so. The Dark Heart Seed that Zhao Feng used was similar to the ghost mark that the mysterious skeleton had left on him in the ancient temple. However, the Dark Heart Seed that was cast through the god's spiritual eye was much more dangerous. At a certain distance, Zhao Feng could even detonate the Dark Heart Seed and kill Lin Tong. I need a servant when I return to the cloud area. You, who has an eye bloodline, are perfect. Otherwise, do you think you'd be able to live until now? Zhao Feng smiled coldly. Hearing this, Lin Tong's heart went cold. Compared to humiliation, he was more worried about his future and death. Zhao Feng's meaning was that he felt that Lin Tong had some value, and that was why he kept him alive. If he didn't have any value, Lin Tong would probably end up like the other members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Of course, Zhao Feng didn't just keep Lin Tong as a servant. He also wanted to understand Lin Tong's eye bloodline and how to use it. After all, up until now, Zhao Feng hadn't found a suitable eye bloodline. Several days later, the azure sharp swallow carried Zhao Feng and finally entered the 13 countries. Chapter 459. Morning, Broken Moon Clan. The Sky Moon Mountain was covered in mist all year round, and under the light of the sun, it gave off a dazzling glow. The mountain was verdant, and numerous pavilions and palaces stood towering there, causing them to seem luxurious and imposing. The buildings on the Sky Moon Mountain were even more luxurious than 2 years ago, and there were many figures of disciples going in and out. It wasn't hard to find them. After the new clan master Haiyun took the position, the Broken Moon clan's strength and scale had increased day by day. Compared to 2 years ago, the clan seemed to have changed. Mid-air, the ancient blue floating crest palace was surrounded by a layer of blue lightning, which made it seem mysterious and grand, as if it was in an ancient legend. Of the entire Broken Moon clan, only the floating crest palace's aura was dim, as if it had been forgotten by the world. At the entrance of the mountain, "Who's there? How dare you enter the Broken Moon clan?" The 2 disciples guarding the mountain coldly stared at the young man. The young man was in his early 20s and was extraordinarily handsome, but his expression was filled with fatigue and loneliness. "Humph! You can't even recognize me!" The young man snorted coldly. His chi and blood were masculine, and there was a formless might that stirred up a gust of wind and sand. Ah! The two disciples guarding the entrance exclaimed in unison. They were so intimidated by the powerful aura that they were unable to move. The aura of the man in front of them had touched the true spirit realm, meaning he was at least half-step true spirit realm. Brother! Brother Yangon! One of the disciples at the third sky of the ascended realm had a change of expression as he said fearfully, Brother Yangon? The other disciple also jumped up in fright. Under the lead of Clan Master Haiyun, the Broken Moon Clan's expansion speed is fast. I've only left for a year and I've already seen so many new faces. Yangon let out a self-mocking laugh as he walked in. The two guarding disciples looked at each other, unable to hide the shock on their faces. Brother Yangon returned at this time? Half a month ago, First Elder was punished by Clan Master Haiyun and the Regulations Elder. I heard that he's under house arrest now. Sure, this isn't something we low-level disciples can discuss. The two guarding disciples sent Yangon into the clan with their eyes. On the way, Yangon greeted some familiar disciples and elders of the clan. But for some reason, Yangon felt that something was wrong and felt many strange gazes. An hour later, in a relatively old mansion on the mountain. How could this be? I've only been away for a year, but Master has been punished to face the wall and reflect on his mistakes for 2 years. Who in the Broken Moon Clan has the authority to punish First Elder? Yangon's face was filled with anger as he roared. Opposite him, the silver-haired Granny Luwa smiled bitterly. Right now, Clan Master Haiyun is extremely strong and has the trust of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Not long ago, Sect Master Haiyun teamed up with the Enforcement Elder and 2 of his trusted elders to put the Great Elder under house arrest. Preposterous. Even with Yangon's calm personality, he couldn't help but fly into a rage. What right does he have? 2 years ago, Zhao Feng was wanted by Sect Master Haiyun for being a traitor. Fortunately, Grand Elder made preparations beforehand and arranged for Zhao Feng's parents, the previous Sect Master, and many other people related to this. Clan Master Haiyun still hasn't forgotten about this. Recently, he's heard news that Zhao Feng has returned to the Cloud area. Granny Luwa sighed. Brother Zhao Feng? You're saying that he's returned to the Cloud area? Yangon suddenly exclaimed and said excitedly. After the Sacred True Dragon gathering, Yangon's excitement had turned into loneliness. After the Sacred True Dragon gathering, he didn't see Zhao Feng return from the inheritance. But now, he heard news that Zhao Feng had returned to the Cloud area. This is the latest news. Clan Master Haiyun was furious and ordered the 13 countries to hunt down Zhao Feng. Granny Liyue's voice was filled with worry. Great! Brother Zhao! I hope you can return safely. Yangon couldn't suppress the joy and excitement on his face. Granny Luwa was surprised. She suddenly remembered Yangon's true reason for going to the Sacred True Dragon gathering. Did you see Brother Zhao at the Sacred True Dragon gathering? Granny Luwa asked. Just as Yangon was about to speak, a commotion came from outside. Yangon! Why aren't you coming out to receive the clan's punishment? A cold and stern voice came from outside. Outside the Elder's palace, a few familiar true disciples were standing at the entrance, glaring like tigers watching their prey. Yuanji? Quan Chin? What's the meaning of this? Yangon walked out and looked at the group of disciples. Many of these disciples were familiar faces such as Yuanji, Quan Chen, and Lu Hu. Most of them were from the opposing side. Yangon! You didn't follow the clan rules and left the clan for a year. As the head disciple, I have the right to punish you. Yuanji stood with his hands behind his back with a cold expression. After Zhao Feng, Bei Moi, and Yangon left, Clan Master Haiyun's second disciple Yuanji became the new head disciple. Yangon had left the clan for the past year and obviously didn't have the chance to become the head disciple. Left the clan? I was ordered by First Elder to go out for a year. What right do you have to punish me? Yangon stood in front of the door and roared. In terms of reputation and strength, Yang Gan suppressed the disciples below. Head disciple Yuan Ji was only at the 7th sky and Quan Chen was only at the 6th sky. Comparatively speaking, their cultivation speed wasn't bad. However, compared to Yang Gan, they were still lacking. After all, Yang Gan had returned from the sacred True Dragon gathering and his knowledge had expanded. Martial nephew Yang, your master was punished by the disciplinary hall to face the wall for 2 years. Let alone a junior like you. A dignified and vigorous voice came from the distant mountains. So, a green-robed old man holding a scepter descended from the sky amid surging winds and waves, exuding a majestic aura. Regulations, elder! A commotion broke out below as the disciples of the various sects bowed. The newcomer was the Regulations elder who had punished Zhao Feng after the Floating Crest trial. The reason was because Zhao Feng had kicked the Regulations elder's disciple Lu Hu out. At this point in time, Lu Hu was amongst the core disciples next to Yuan Ji and Quan Chen as he stared coldly at the returning Yang Gan. Regulations elder. Yang Gan felt a powerful and domineering true spirit aura. The Regulations elder's cultivation had reached the late stages of the true human rank and wasn't something a mere half-step true spirit realm could compare to. Regulations elder! It wasn't Yang Gan's fault that he left the clan, it was First Elder's order. I hope you can be lenient. Granny Luwa smiled bitterly. For a mere disciple who had left the sect to make the powerful enforcement elder personally make a move, wasn't this making a mountain out of a molehill? Seeing that it's your first time and that it wasn't your own will, I'll be lenient. From today onwards, you will lead a team to complete 49 clan missions for free. The Regulations elder's expression calmed down. Yang Gan was about to explode but was stopped by Granny Luwe. Calm down. You didn't make a big mistake, so the Regulations elder can't do anything to you. However, if you act rashly, he'll just say that you offended an elder and you'll lose a layer of skin. Yang Gan, are you willing to accept this small punishment? A cold and dignified voice sounded. Disciple is willing. Yang Gan suppressed his anger and killing intent as he accepted the 49 clan missions. 3 days later, Yang Gan led a group and walked out of the central division. Sister Ran, Brother Lin, Brother Yang. I'm sorry. Yang Gan looked behind him and couldn't help but smile bitterly at these familiar faces. Ran Xiaoyuan, Lin Fan, Yang Qishan and company were all on good terms with Zhao Feng. Ran Xiaoyuan was the former clan master's core disciple. If it wasn't for the fact that they had lost First Elder's protection, they wouldn't have been sent to this group. Brother Yang, I'm worried that Clan Master Haiyun won't let you go so easily. Take the chance to run when you're on a mission, Lin Fan suggested. In the past, Lin Fan and Zhao Feng had entered the inner clan from the outer clan and participated in the Floating Crest trial together. And now, Lin Fan's cultivation had reached the 4th and 5th sky of the Ascended Realm thanks to Zhao Feng's care. I can't run and I don't even have the chance to run? Yang Gan raised his head. In the clouds, there was a small black dot in the sky above the group. Is a small group worth 2 half-step true spirit realm and several experts at the 7th sky monitoring them? Not long after, Yang Gan led the group and walked out of the clan. Right at this moment, several air-piercing sounds streaked across the sky. Experts at the true spirit realm! Several at the true spirit realm! The members of the group couldn't help but exclaim. In their eyes, only experts at the true spirit realm could fly freely in the sky. It was extremely rare to see several experts at the true spirit realm moving out at the same time. A black-robed youth amongst the true spirit realm experts suddenly stopped. So, the sound of air flying was accompanied by a powerful aura of the true spirit realm as the black-robed youth descended. Such a young true spirit realm. The Broken Moon clan disciples nearby all held their breaths. It's you, Bei Moi! Yang Gan and company including Yang Qishan couldn't help but exclaim. The black-robed youth had an expressionless face as his eyes scanned across the group and paused slightly on Yang Qishan's face. Back then, Bei Moi, Yang Qishan and Zhao Feng were all disciples of Lord Guanjuan. This time, Moi had already reached the true spirit realm and his aura wasn't much weaker than the regulations elder. What's going on? A weird light flashed in Moi's eyes. Most of the people in front of him were from First Elder's side or disciples that had a good relationship with Zhao Feng. Yan Gan harumphed coldly. He didn't have a good impression of Moi. Only Ran Xiaoyuan had a downcast expression as she explained what had happened. Oh. Moi didn't move as he met up with the figures in the sky and entered the Broken Moon clan. Heavenly Moon Mountain, in a huge pavilion that stood out from the crowd. Hee Moi. You indeed didn't disappoint me. You've returned from the sacred True Dragon Gathering and even received the trust of the Palace Lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Clan Master Haiyun had a bright smile on his handsome face as he patted Moi's shoulder. Master, have you heard of Zhao Feng's return? According to the Iron Dragon Alliance, Zhao Feng has already entered the 13 countries and is heading toward the Broken Moon clan. This isn't good for Master, Moi said expressionlessly. Chapter 460. Broken Moon Clan, Clan Master's Hall. Zhao Feng has already entered the 13 countries and is heading toward the Broken Moon clan. He's extremely aggressive and isn't good for Master. Moi's expression was as cold as usual, but he said a shocking piece of news. Beside Moi were several figures covered in black robes and hats. Their auras were all at the true spirit realm without a doubt. However, these black-robed figures were like death guards and didn't say a word. Humph! Do you think this little brat can kill me? Clan Master Haiyun snickered coldly. Half a month ago, I found some clues and told the Iron Dragon Alliance to send a core elder to guard the Sky Moon Mountain. Moreover, I've spent a great deal of money to invite a powerful ally. I'm just waiting for Zhao Feng to walk into my trap. Master is brilliant. You always take every possibility into account. Moi revealed a rare look of praise. The news of Zhao Feng returning to the cloud area hadn't spread yet. Only a small number of people knew about it. The Iron Dragon Alliance locked down information regarding Zhao Feng's battle power, especially when he defeated the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. After all, this would damage the Alliance's reputation. Of course. Apart from a small number of people, the outside world didn't know that Zhao Feng had killed the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's forces. What Moi praised was that Sect Master Haiyun was able to react according to the clues and even set up a trap for Zhao Feng. From this, one could see how intelligent he was. It definitely wasn't luck that Clan Master Haiyun was able to reach his current level. That's right, these friends are. Clan Master Haiyun's gaze moved toward the black-robed figures behind Moi. Ever since they returned, they had been standing behind Moi without saying a word. Reporting to Master. After Zhao Feng returned to the cloud area, he arrogantly challenged the Iron Dragon Alliance and posed a great threat to them. The upper echelons of the Alliance were extremely unhappy and ordered me to bring a few experts to wait for him. Moi calmly said. Good. I didn't think that you and I would be so important to the Iron Dragon Alliance. It seems like the heavens have decreed that Zhao Feng will not be able to return. The smile on Sect Master Haiyun's face became even brighter. That day, when Moi returned, Sect Master Haiyun held a small celebration for him. However, under the seemingly lively and relaxed appearance, the entire Heavenly Moon Mountain's formation was activated, and it was heavily guarded. Several elders of the Broken Moon clan had come out of seclusion to guard the clan. Secretly, the entire Broken Moon clan's guard had reached its highest point in several years. Some of the disciples at the bottom of the hierarchy could sense an unusual murderous aura. But on the surface, the Broken Moon clan was celebrating. This was Sect Master Haiyun's loose on the outside but tight on the inside strategy. At the same time, Yan Gan's team left the sect and started the first of the 49 punishment missions. The black dot in the clouds was a large bird that carried the experts of the Broken Moon clan. 2 at the half-step True Spirit realm and several at the 7th sky of the Ascended realm were monitoring the group below. This is so boring. The task given by the enforcement elder to supervise these brats isn't challenging at all. Hee. The enforcement elder said that if any one of them tries to escape, we're allowed to kill them. The large bird flew in the air and monitored the situation below. The first mission of Yangon's group wasn't hard. On the contrary, it was very simple. The mission was to collect the excrement of a bird near the Broken Moon clan. Even outer disciples could do such a dirty and cheap mission, but Yangon and the other inner disciples, and even core disciples, had to do it. One had to say that this was a challenge to their dignity, patience, and tolerance. Everyone, be patient and continue. I believe that Brother Zhao will return soon and change the fate of the clan. Yangon messaged. When Brother Zhao was mentioned, the eyes of some of the people in the group sparkled. Most of the disciples present were familiar with Zhao Feng and even had a close relationship with him. Many of the people present had personally witnessed the rise and growth of the former number one genius of the 13 clans. Brother Zhao's achievements are definitely above Bei Mua's. But can Brother Zhao really change the fate of the Broken Moon clan by himself? Clan Master Haiyun has the Iron Dragon Alliance behind him. The disciples in the group were overjoyed. It's hard to say if he can change the situation, but it shouldn't be hard to change our situation. A calm and steady voice came from Lin Fan. Lin Fan was also the number one outer disciple and had become allies with Zhao Feng. They had grown up together, and he had displayed his skills in the Floating Crest trial. Lin Fan understood Zhao Feng better than anyone else here. Half a day later, Yangon's group had finished their first mission and were heading back to the clan to hand in their mission. Right at this moment, there was a burst of noise and panic at the mountain gate. Oh my God! That person! Quick! Report to the elders! At the entrance of the mountain, there were some figures who were clearly hiding in the dark. In the air, the pupils of the two half-step true spirit realms and several cultivators at the seventh sky of the ascended realm squinted as they stared at the entrance. It's him! The expressions of the figures on the flying beast froze. At the entrance of the clan, a youth with blue hair stood with his hands behind his back with a smile that wasn't a smile as he stared straight ahead. This youth had obviously been here for a while, and he had a smile in his eyes as he inspected the clan in front of him, as if he had a special feeling. Zhao Feng! It's really him! The expressions of the people near the clan and the flying beast changed dramatically. Zhao Feng! You're wanted by Clan Master Haiyun, and you dared to come here to die! Zhao Feng, traitor, give up! The deacons and disciples of the Broken Moon clan stood on the high ground and shouted. But without a doubt, no one dared to make a move. In the Broken Moon clan, who didn't know about the miracles of this youth? Until now. The title of the number one genius of the 13 countries still belonged to the Broken Moon clan. Please report to Clan Master Haiyun that the traitor Zhao Feng has returned to the Broken Moon clan to admit his crimes. Zhao Feng lightly smiled and stood with his hands behind his back, his blue hair blowing in the wind. Hearing this, the crowd broke into chaos. At this moment, whether it was the disciples and deacons in the mountain gate, the experts on the demonic birds in the sky, or the teams behind them, all of them were dumbfounded. Admit his crimes? The jaws of the Broken Moon clan disciples almost dropped to the ground. Many people knew that Zhao Feng was wanted by the 13 countries and that he had escaped from the cloud area. Since he had escaped, why would he come back to admit his crimes? Was there something wrong with him? How is this possible? Brother Zhao, he actually came back to admit his crimes? Yangon and company felt as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over them. Just a moment ago, they were still thinking about the miracles that would happen after Zhao Feng's return. But in the blink of an eye, they saw such a scene. It was as if they had fallen from heaven to hell. They seemed to sense something. Zhao Feng suddenly turned around and smiled faintly at Yangon's group. That smile contained a warmth and friendliness that hadn't been seen in a long time. Yangon, Lin Fan, Yang Qishan, and company froze. Apart from Lin Fan, everyone else couldn't hide the disappointment on their faces. Brother Zhao definitely didn't really surrender. Lin Fan had a feeling that came from his understanding of Zhao Feng. Lin Fan had experienced Zhao Feng's calmness, intelligence, and unparalleled control of the situation. Brothers and sisters, we meet again. Zhao Feng's left eye glittered with a deep blue light, giving off a feeling of spring rain washing one's heart. When they saw that mysterious left eye, the members of the mission team felt an abnormally calm and steady feeling. At the same time, Sky Moon Mountain, Clan Master's Hall. Reporting to the Clan Master. Zhao Feng has arrived at the clan and said that he's going to admit his crimes to Clan Master Haiyan. This shocking news instantly spread across the entire Broken Moon clan. Within the hall, Clan Master Haiyan, the Regulations Elder, the Elders, and the division leaders all had dazed expressions. What? Admit his crimes? Are you sure you didn't get the wrong person? Beimua's mouth was wide open. Zhao Feng surrendered? He wouldn't believe it even if he was beaten to death. Apart from his blue hair and blue eyes, he's the same as Zhao Feng from back then. And that cat, one of the deacons said respectfully. That cat. Beimua's eyebrows twitched as anger rose in his heart. He was sure that the person who had come was Zhao Feng. Back then, that thieving cat had tricked him to death in the Floating Crest trial. Humph! Let's see what that Zhao Feng is up to. Let's go out and see. Suspicion appeared on Clan Master Haiyan's eyebrows as he stood up. A while later, Clan Master Haiyan and the upper echelon of the clan came to a tall mountain and looked down. In their vision, a blue-haired youth stood with his hands behind his back. On his shoulder was a thieving cat that was waving a white flag. Meow meow! The little thieving cat danced around happily, waving the white flag, in joy. Whether it was in the mortal world or the clan world, a white flag meant surrender. This scene caused the upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan to have weird expressions on their faces. This was especially so for Beimua. His face twitched, and the scene of the little thieving cat waving the white flag almost made him choke. Traitor Zhao Feng has returned to the Broken Moon clan to apologize to Clan Master Haiyan. Zhao Feng had a smile on his face as he walked into the clan with his hands behind his back. Stop! Traitor, since you're here to apologize, then surrender! The deacons and disciples nearby all acted as if they were facing a great enemy. Everyone could see that Zhao Feng's cultivation had reached the true spirit realm and normal people wouldn't dare to attack him. He really surrenders? Clan Master Haiyan's eyebrows furrowed. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng's calm smile was even more relaxed than before. Clan Master Haiyan felt uneasy and used his spiritual sense to confirm that Zhao Feng's cultivation had reached the true spirit realm, but he couldn't see which, three heavens, Zhao Feng was at. Didn't Clan Master Haiyan put a bounty on me in the 13 countries? Now that I've returned to the clan, do you not welcome me? The smile on Zhao Feng's face was warm and gentle, giving off a harmless feeling. On the mountain, the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan was having a short discussion. Clan Master! What's there to be afraid of? We'll set up the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array in front of the central hall. Even if that brat has the ability to flip the heavens, he won't be able to escape. Humph! This brat is courting death. How can we not welcome him? Chapter 461. On the peak of the mountain. After a short discussion, the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan soon came to a decision. Good, Zhao Feng! You've got guts! You've got guts! Since you're here to confess your crimes, I can lighten your punishment. Someone bring Zhao Feng to the central division. Haiyan Master laughed as his eyes went cold, and he waved his sleeves. As soon as he said this, So. Several experts with cultivations ranging from the 6th and 7th sky to the half-step true spirit realm flew towards Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng smiled but didn't say anything. He raised his head and looked towards the sky. Plop! 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 These figures were just about to catch Zhao Feng when their light suddenly dimmed and they fell from the sky dead. A cold, evil, and bloodthirsty psychic aura strangely permeated the air nearby. Who's there? The upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan were shocked as they looked towards the sky. amongst the clouds. On top of a large bird stood a cold youth covered in black. "This is what happens to those who are rude to master." The indifferent youth's eyes were deep and mysterious, and there was a ball of distorted crimson black in his eyes. It was a shocking sight. What a terrifying eye bloodline! The elders of the Broken Moon clan couldn't help but hiccup. Not only was this cold youth's eye bloodline powerful, his cultivation had also reached the true mystic rank. One had to know. Apart from the two reinforcements, the rest of the elders of the Broken Moon clan were all at the true human rank. "Wasn't that large bird the one that was supervising us?" Everyone in Yang Qian's team was stunned. Not long ago, there were experts from the Broken Moon clan on top of the Yao bird to supervise their mission. In the blink of an eye, the large bird had been taken by the cold youth. Why does that person look so familiar? Some of the geniuses and outstanding talents present stared at the cold-looking youth. "It's him." Bei Mua's heart jumped. "Lin Tong!" Yang Gon took in a cold breath. The name Lin Tong was like a nightmare in the 13 clan assembly. Other than Zhao Feng, Sang Yue, and a few other geniuses, no one else could resist Lin Tong's gaze. Back then, both Yang Gon and Bei Mua were defeated by Lin Tong, and couldn't even take one move. It was to the extent that years later, Lin Tong would still leave a shadow in their hearts. On this day, Lin Tong had reappeared and his attainments far surpassed Yang Gon and Bei Mua. Lin Tong had topped her talent and a powerful eye bloodline. It could be said that he was one of the top geniuses in the 13 countries. At this moment, when Lin Tong appeared and spoke in a domineering manner, everyone present was shocked. "Lin Tong clearly belongs to the Iron Dragon Alliance, and is a core member of the Scarlet Moon demonic sect." "Why?" Bei Mua was slightly puzzled. He and Lin Tong were both members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. However, Lin Tong's status was much higher than Bei Mua's. He had been accepted into the Scarlet Moon demonic religion and was heavily nurtured. It was said that he had even entered the Scarlet Moon inheritance. What shocked everyone even more was that the powerful Lin Tong actually referred to Zhao Feng as his master. "Lin Tong, don't be rude. This time, I'm sincerely apologizing to sect leader Haiyan." Zhao Feng smiled faintly and slowly walked towards the central hall. On the way, no one dared to attack Zhao Feng. Clan Master Haiyan's eyes twinkled as he led the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan to the central hall. Zhao Feng walked very slowly and he saw many familiar faces on the way. Halfway up the hill, "Zhao Feng! Why did you come back?" The eyes of the two white-bearded elders bulged out, and they were filled with shock and confusion. "Old man Guan, old man Zhang." A warm smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. He felt warmth in his heart as he thought back to when he first entered the Broken Moon clan and how the two of them fought to take him as a disciple. Zhao Feng had learned many things from the two elders, and he now had a solid foundation in the Tao of pills and arrays. But in the end, Zhao Feng didn't choose the Tao of pills or the world of arrays. "Zhao Feng, why did you come back?" The two elders couldn't help but look at Zhao Feng. Back in the Broken Moon clan, the two of them had put a lot of hope in Zhao Feng. They didn't understand what Zhao Feng was doing right now. How could the two of them let a genius like Zhao Feng die like this? "Don't worry, how could Zhao Feng let you down?" Zhao Feng faintly smiled. After leaving behind these words, he turned and left. Elder Zhang and Elder Guan exchanged glances with each other. They were both shocked. It wasn't hard for them to see that Zhao Feng's cultivation had reached the true spirit realm, and his aura wasn't something any elder or upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan could compare to. The two of them had solemn expressions as they watched Zhao Feng walk towards the central hall. In front of the central hall, Clan Master Haiyan, the Regulations Elder, and the other elders all arrived. Above the central palace, the floating crest palace, which was surrounded by lightning, suddenly lit up. "Floating Crest Palace, long time no see." Zhao Feng smiled and nodded his head. An unbelievable scene appeared. The Floating Crest Palace seemed to sense something, and with a hum, the aura of lightning became stronger, as if it was welcoming a good friend. The expressions of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan were slightly ugly. The Floating Crest Palace was the core inheritance of the Broken Moon clan. But now, the Floating Crest Palace had sensed something. What did that mean? Ha! What an arrogant brat! He dares to charge into the heaven and earth net alone. A loud voice that shook the clouds sounded from the mountains far away. Whoosh! A purple-red burly man strode through the air, accompanied by the low whistling of the wind. The aura of the scarlet-purple large male was condensed and gave off a terrifying aura that made even the elders at the true spirit realm tremble. True mystic rank! He seems to be at the peak true mystic rank! The Regulations Elder, Granny Luwa and the other elders all took in a cold breath. 7th Core Elder! Clan Master Hyun was overjoyed and immediately went up to welcome him. This person was one of the 2 reinforcements that Clan Master Hyun had asked for. A few days ago, Clan Master Hyun had heard the news of Zhao Feng's return and felt uneasy. After all, Zhao Feng's miracles had spread across the 13 countries. Who knew what path of retreat First Elder had left for Zhao Feng, or maybe even reinforcements from strong countries. Therefore, Clan Master Hyun had asked for help from the Iron Dragon Alliance. At that time, the 2 core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance had been killed by Zhao Feng, and they generously sent over a core elder, who was ranked 7th. Any core elder of the Iron Dragon Alliance was an existence that Clan Master Hyun could only dream of. Furthermore, the one they sent was the 7th core elder. Furthermore, just to be safe, Clan Master Hyun had spent a lot of money to invite a powerful ally. Hee hee! Clan Master Hyun doesn't need to worry. A light laugh came from afar. The newcomer was a middle-aged man wearing a scholar's robe. He had a circle of silver light under his feet, and he had a crystal-green bamboo sword on his back. It's Xian Yunzi! Clan Master Hyun was able to invite him. This Xian Yunzi doesn't belong to any sect, but he's the most legendary wandering cultivator in the 13 countries. Many of the elders of the Broken Moon clan recognized the middle-aged man. In the world of clans, most cultivators came from clans or families. However, there were some exceptions. Even if the chance was small, there were still peak experts that could be born from wandering cultivators. Xian Yunzi was a typical example of this. He was very popular, and had a good relationship with the other sects of the 13 sects. Under normal circumstances, Xian Yunzi's identity in the 13 countries was like a peacemaker, and he rarely participated in the battles between clans. However, for Clan Master Hyun to be able to invite such a wandering cultivator to the clan meant that he must have paid a heavy price. In front of the central hall, the sudden arrival of the 7th Core Elder and Xian Yunzi caused the atmosphere to become tense. However, compared to the 7th Core Elder's domineering hostility, Xian Yunzi was much friendlier. Xian Yunzi smiled from ear to ear and said, Nephew Zhao, your master, Situ Mo, and I have a bit of a friendship. Since you've come to the Broken Moon clan to ask for forgiveness, I hope you can be sincere and don't make a big fuss. Zhao Feng didn't hear it and walked step by step towards the central hall. He only had one target, and that was Clan Master Hyun. Brat. You refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Let this elder take you down. The 7th Core Elder's body was covered in a scarlet-purple fire, and he was like a small volcano that gave off a scorching aura that could destroy a village in the next instant. The hearts of the elders and upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan trembled. The 36 core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance were all at the true mystic rank. The top 10 all had terrifying battle power only below the true lord rank. This scarlet-purple male was rank 7th and was a rare body cultivator. Just his body alone could crush true mystic rank cultivators of the same rank. If they fought in close combat, even true lord ranks would be threatened. Pun! The purple and scarlet male was like a human-shaped monster that charged toward Zhao Feng with terrifying waves of heat. Soaring skies, slashing sword. A light flashed in Xian Yunzi's eyes and the bamboo sword on his back slashed out with a wham towards Zhao Feng. At this point in time, the two true mystic ranks attacked at the same time. However, The scarlet-purple male and Xiang Yunzi's figures had just moved when their hearts jumped and uneasiness came from their souls. In the air, on top of a large bird. Scarlet Demon Moon Eye. Lin Tong's scarlet black eyes twisted and two blood-colored crescent moons appeared. Bam! Bam! Two bloody crescents that were filled with cold, murderous, negative energy pierced through the clouds and hit the purple man and Xiang Yunzi as fast as lightning. Wah! Wah! Xiang Yunzi and the scarlet-purple male's bodies shook and they both spat out a mouthful of blood. The two's faces went pale as they looked up in shock at the cold youth that they had ignored. 2 years later, the terrifying genius with the best talent and bloodline in the 13 nations showed his might again. What a terrifying eye bloodline technique. Injuring 2 true mystic rank experts with just one glance. This Lin Tong is 10 times or even 100 times stronger than before. The crowd broke out into chaos, especially the geniuses that had participated in the alliance banquet of the 13 countries. Bei Moi's heart couldn't calm down. This Lin Tong indeed entered the Scarlet Moon inheritance. He's probably almost unrivaled against those under the true lord rank. It was hard to imagine that such a terrifying genius would become Zhao Feng's servant and fighter. Chapter 462. Broken Moon Clan, Central Hall. The disciples on the mountain all held their breaths in shock. At this moment in time, Lin Tong in the air became the focus of everyone's eyes. Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, and the other elders including the 2 true mystic ranks were filled with wariness and fear. 2 true mystic ranks had been defeated in one glance. No one could describe how terrifying this new prodigy was. One had to know. Xiang Yunzi was the most legendary cultivator in the 13 countries, and the number of people that could compare to him could be counted on one's fingers. The 7th Core Elder's strength was even more terrifying. Just his body alone could crush most true mystic ranks, and he was unparalleled under the true lord rank. These 2 true mystic ranks weren't even able to block one glance from Lin Tong. Lin Tong! How dare you betray the alliance and work with this brat? The 7th Core Elder wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and roared in anger. Lin Tong, Bei Moi, and the 7th Core Elder all belonged to the Iron Dragon Alliance. Of course, Lin Tong and the 7th Core Elder had higher statuses. Facing the 7th Core Elder's question, Lin Tong remained silent. However, his eyes were filled with helplessness as he glanced at the blue-haired youth below. These details obviously couldn't escape the eyes of the experts present. A terrifying prodigy like Lin Tong is willing to serve Zhao Feng? Back at the alliance banquet of the 13 clans, Zhao Feng and Lin Tong, who both had eye bloodlines, stood on opposite sides. The ancient shrine that Lin Tong was in was rumored to be a small branch of the Scarlet Moon demonic sect in the 13 nations. Back at the Dragon Concealing Lake, the ancient shrine had betrayed them. Lin Tong was definitely a trusted member of the Iron Dragon Alliance, and was even valued by the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. It wasn't hard to guess that Lin Tong was being forced. Furthermore, facing the 7th Core Elder's question, Lin Tong didn't explain. I'll only ask for forgiveness from Clan Master Haiyun. Others shouldn't interfere. A light laugh came from the blue-haired youth below. The hearts of Clan Master Haiyun and company shook. It was hard to imagine Zhao Feng's strength if even a terrifying prodigy like Lin Tong was forced to work with him. Invisibly, the blue-haired youth in their field of vision caused everyone to be filled with suspicion, fear, and respect. No one dared to act rashly. As strong as the 7th Core Elder and Xiang Yunzi were, they felt deep fear in their hearts. They couldn't see through their opponent's strength at all. Even a servant of Zhao Feng could kill him instantly. It was even more impossible to estimate the strength of the mastermind. Thud! Thud! The whole place was silent. It seemed that only the sound of the blue-haired youth's casual footsteps could be heard. Finally, at a certain moment, Zhao Feng stepped into the square in front of the central hall. He's close. That kid is about to enter the range of the formation. Sect leader Haiyun. The 8 dragon demon slaying array is ready. The hearts of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan sped up. The 8 Dragons Demon Slaughtering Array was definitely their strongest trump card. This 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering formation was constructed and strengthened by an ancient formation. Just the preparation of the formation's materials cost a lot of money and manpower. Furthermore, to activate it, we need 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm and 64 elites at the 6th and 7th sky of the Ascended Realm. The Broken Moon clan had already sent out 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm. Beimoi was also one of the 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm. The formation is ready. Ha! That brat has already entered the range of the array. If he goes any closer, he'll be at the core of the array. Even a true lord rank wouldn't be able to escape unscathed. The upper echelon and reinforcements of the Broken Moon clan were overjoyed. They had absolute confidence in the power of the 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array. Zhao Feng. No! Below the mountain, Old Man Zhang and Old Man Guan exclaimed. Old Man Zhang, who specialized in arrays, had participated in the creation of the 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array and knew its power. Unfortunately, their warning was already too late. Zhao Feng stepped into the core of the 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array. At this moment, this was the best time to activate the array. The upper echelon and reinforcements of the Broken Moon clan were overjoyed. Hee, 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array? I've heard Old Man Zhang mention this array when I was studying in the clan mission division. A faint laugh came from the blue-haired youth in the core of the array. What? The hearts of those from the Broken Moon clan shook as they looked at Zhao Feng in disbelief. Clan Master Haiyun's heart skipped a beat, and he felt uneasy. The youth in front of him obviously knew a thing or two about arrays. Not only did he know the existence of the 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array, he had casually walked in and saw through it. At this moment, the hearts of the upper echelon and reinforcements of the Broken Moon clan trembled as a coldness spread across their bodies. The mysteriousness of the youth in front of them had reached the point where their minds were on the verge of collapsing. One of the 2 reinforcements, Xian Yunzi, was filled with regret. Before being invited by Haiyun Master, he had studied the lineup of experts to deal with Zhao Feng, especially the terrifying power of the 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array. However, the reality was out of his expectations. Everything was because of the unfathomable blue-haired youth. Back then, he was the #1 genius of the 13 countries and escaped to a faraway country. Now he had returned, and no one knew his true strength. Everyone, don't be scared by this brat. Let's work together and kill him, the law enforcement elder said in a fierce manner. 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array, open! The 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm circulated their chi of True Spirit, and the 64 experts at the 6th and 7th sky of the Ascended Realm all supported the array. Instantly, when 8 dragon-shaped chains of different colors appeared, each of them dozens of yards long. They were like 8 ancient dragon-locking chains that instantly locked down the area Zhao Feng was in. The 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array is so powerful! Each of the 8 dragon-shaped chains is comparable to the peak True Mystic rank. The upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan trembled with excitement. Many people had never seen such a grand ancient formation in their lives. It was an eye-opener for them. Chio! 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 Zhao Feng stood where he was, the 8 dragon-shaped chains instantly sealing off all his paths of escape. It was like a prison that had him trapped in it. Chio! Bam! 2 of the dragon-shaped chains wrapped around Zhao Feng's legs. Unfortunately, if the 8 true mystic ranks teamed up, they might be able to threaten me, Zhao Feng said regretfully. His body suddenly blossomed with a layer of transparent light shield condensed from thunder patterns and wind waves. With 2 ding-ding sounds, the 2 dragon-shaped light chains were shaken off. Ding-ding-ding sparks flew on the barrier of wind and lightning as the 8 dragon-shaped chains hit Zhao Feng's body, but were pushed away. This 8 Dragon Demon Slaughtering Array needs the 8 Dragon Connecting Heart. You guys aren't on good terms and haven't practiced enough, so you can only use 60 to 70% of the array's power. Zhao Feng shook his head. He slowly approached Sect Master Haiyun, who was at the center of the formation. Brat! Don't be arrogant! Clan Master Haiyun's voice was trembling. No one would have thought that Zhao Feng would be so strong that he could walk through the 8 dragon demons' slaughtering array. Clan Master Haiyun, I'm here to ask for forgiveness. There's no need to be so nervous. Zhao Feng had his hands behind his back and smiled faintly. From the looks of it, he really didn't plan on taking Clan Master Haiyun's life. Suddenly, a desolate voice sounded from one end of the central plaza. This voice seemed to have a magical power that could enter one's heart. Although it was extremely soft, everyone present could hear it clearly. This voice. The expressions of Lin Tong and Bei Moi in the central hall changed. The hearts of the 8 true spirit realms, Clan Master Haiyun, the 7th Core Elder, and company shook. At this moment, the air seemed to have frozen, leaving only the desolate voice that drilled into the soul. Shwa! 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 In the corner of the central plaza, 3 black-cloaked figures suddenly took off their cloaks and revealed their original appearances. 3 terrifying auras spread out in the central hall square. 2 males and 1 female were like the kings of hell as they stood in front of the palace. Shwa! One of the black-clothed male held a metal fan. His skin, hair, and clothes seemed to be made of metal and gave off a cold metallic aura. Shwa! Shwa! A silver metal flashed in the air. Zhao Feng's footsteps froze. Behind him, the black-clothed male's eyes were cold as the metal fan in his hand released a cold light that was only an inch away from Zhao Feng's back. The light only needed to flash once, and Zhao Feng would be sliced in half. True Lord Tai Xiao! The instant the black-clothed male appeared, the upper echelon elders of the Broken Moon clan, including Clan Master Haiyun, exclaimed. True Lord Tai Xiao! This name was like a nightmare that was imprinted on the upper echelon of the 13 clans. Greetings, 3 palace lords! The 7th Core Elder revealed an overjoyed expression. Yulong Tai Xiao, and by Ji, how is this possible? Bei Moi's face was filled with shock. Before he left, the upper echelon of the alliance had told him that they would send 3 experts to the Broken Moon clan to help him deal with Zhao Feng. However, who would have thought? These 3 reinforcements were the 3 palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Greetings, Yulong Tai Xiao and Bai Ji. Cold sweat appeared on Lin Tong's forehead as he hovered in the air. Shwa! Shwa! Apart from True Lord Tai Xiao, the other male and female formed a triangle that surrounded Zhao Feng. The one with the strongest aura, Palace Lord Yulong, had black hair and a black horn on his head. His body was covered in a layer of black scales and gave off an ancient and mysterious aura. His existence was like a nightmare from hell. On the left was Palace Queen Bai Ji. She wore a dreamy and luxurious dress. She had the face of an angel and the body of a devil. Her aura was strange and obscure. She also had an ethereal feeling. Every frown and smile of hers could seduce the souls of others. Bei Moi, very well done! Zhao Feng indeed returned to the Broken Moon clan. Clan Master Haiyun, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to ambush this brat so easily. Palace Lord Yulong's black hair blew in the wind and his voice seemed to come from the Lord of the Abyss. Time and space seemed to freeze at this moment. Everyone in the Broken Moon clan was dazed and they didn't even dare to breathe. 3 of the 4 pillars of the Iron Dragon Alliance had appeared at the same time in the Broken Moon clan. 3 palace lords, so I was just bait. Clan Master Haiyun let out a long breath and smiled bitterly. Chapter 463. So I'm just bait. Clan Master Haiyun's heart calmed down. He didn't need to worry about his own safety anymore. Any palace lord of the Iron Dragon Alliance was a figure that could turn the clouds and rain with one hand. Furthermore, at this moment, the arrival of the 3 palace lords was enough to change the skies of Cloud Hainyang. Everything rotten could be transformed into something magical. However, apart from joy, Clan Master Haiyun was also filled with bitterness. No matter how many plans he had, he was just a small bait in the grand scheme of things. However, Clan Master Haiyun was puzzled. 3 palace kings had come to the Broken Moon clan just to deal with a junior? Wasn't this making a mountain out of a molehill? At this moment, the entire heavenly moon mountain was silent, not a sound could be heard. The mental energy pressure from the 3 true Lord ranks caused the heaven-earth yuan qi to freeze and the hearts of all beings to tremble uneasily. From the clan master to the elders to the disciples of the Broken Moon clan, they were all uneasy and uneasy. No one would have thought that this would happen. A fight between Zhao Feng and clan master Haiyun would end up like this. However, more suspicions covered the hearts of those from the Broken Moon clan. What power does this Zhao Feng have to make the 3 palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance team up to ambush him? The entire Broken Moon clan couldn't help but be puzzled and shocked. So at the same time, the sound of whistling through the air came from outside the Broken Moon clan. No less than 10 powerful auras came from all directions of the Broken Moon clan. Each aura made the hearts of the upper echelon experts of the Broken Moon clan shake. True mystic rank! They're all experts at the 2nd rank of the true spirit realm. 1, 2, 3, oh my god! 10 true mystic ranks! The Iron Dragon Alliance sent out 10 core elders? The entire Broken Moon clan fell into panic and shock. Normally, any one of these Iron Dragon core elders could make the Broken Moon clan tremble. But today, 10 core elders came in one go. Of course, the ones that people looked up to and respected the most were the 3 great palace kings, who stood above all living beings. In order to kill Zhao Feng, the Iron Dragon Alliance sent out so many top-tier forces? Sect Master Yunhai couldn't calm down. Even if they wanted to destroy the Broken Moon clan, sending 1 or 2 core elders and a branch palace was more than enough. Faintly, Clan Master Haiyun and the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan felt that something was wrong. After the deep shock, everyone's gazes gradually fell on the source of everything, Zhao Feng. All of the shocking and overturning scenes before them had been caused by this young man. This young man, who used to be the #1 genius of the 13 countries, seemed to be shrouded in suspense. The atmosphere was strange. After the 3 palace kings surrounded Zhao Feng in a triangle, their expressions did not relax. Among them, true Lord Tiexiao's fan was only an inch away from Xiao Feng's back. In everyone's eyes, true Lord Tai Xiao only needed to wave his hand to split Xiao Feng in 2. However, true Lord Tai Xiao Yulong and Bai Ji didn't make any rash moves. Zhao Feng, who was trapped in the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array and surrounded by the 3 palace lords, still stood with his hands behind his back and a faint smile. Zhao Feng, your performance in the sacred True Dragon Gathering stunned the entire continent. You're one of the most dazzling prodigies in the world. Even I am deeply impressed by your talent and tenacity. True Lord Tai Xiao said slowly. As soon as these words came out, the entire crowd was shocked. Sacred True Dragon Gathering? The legendary Sacred True Dragon Gathering? From True Lord Tiexiao's words, Zhao Feng had extremely dazzling results in the Sacred True Dragon Gathering? For the Broken Moon clan and even the 13 countries, the Sacred True Dragon Gathering was a faraway place of legends. The other 2 palace lords didn't underestimate Zhao Feng at all and locked their gazes onto him. Zhao Feng, you're so young but have such strength and even heavily injured the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. You have to know that of the 4 palace lords, no one can beat him apart from me. I'm sure that even the Division Master would nurture a genius like you. Palace Lord Yulong's voice resounded across the central plaza. Of the 4 palace kings, Palace King Yulong had the highest status, and his strength was the most unfathomable. Palace Lord Yulong had a black horn on his head, and his bloodline aura made Zhao Feng's blood tremble slightly. Those without a bloodline would feel panic when they got close to Palace Lord Yulong. It was like a lamb facing a wolf, or a lower life form facing a higher life form. Palace Lord Yulong's words caused the hearts of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan to shake. This Zhao Feng defeated a Palace Lord of the Iron Dragon Alliance before? Even the leader of the 4 Palace Lords, Yulong, gave him an olive branch. The shock in Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, and company's eyes spread to their faces. All of them broke out in cold sweat. To think that they had been planning to deal with such a terrifying figure. Everyone's gazes landed on Zhao Feng. This included Bei Moi and Lin Tong. If the three palace lords can take care of Zhao Feng, the threat of the dark heart seed in my body will be resolved. Lin Tong let out a breath in his heart. Both sides were waiting for the blue-haired youth's response. However, Zhao Feng still had his hands behind his back and his gaze landed on Haiyun Master before turning to Bei Moi. Finally, he slowly opened his mouth. Brother Bei Moi, you've done very well. The experts of the Iron Dragon Alliance did indeed come to the Broken Moon clan. Clan Master Haiyun, thank you. If it wasn't for your perfect cooperation, my plan wouldn't have been completed so smoothly. Gentle laughter reverberated in the mountains. As soon as he said this, Bei Moi's mouth was wide open as if he was choking on his tears. Cooperation? When did I? Clan Master Haiyun's expression suddenly froze. Who only Feng Lan's voice remained in the Broken Moon clan. True Lord Tai Xiao and Palace Lord Bai Ji were dazed. What? Palace Lord Yulong exclaimed as his expression darkened. The crowd felt that something was amiss, but after thinking about it carefully, many of them came to a sudden realization. So, Zhao Feng's words were almost exactly what Palace Lord Yulong had said. Bei Moi, you've done very well. Zhao Feng indeed returned to the Broken Moon clan. Clan Master Haiyun, thank you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to ambush this brat so easily. The same words were slightly changed by Zhao Feng and sent back. One could imagine. Bei Moi and Clan Master Haiyun's expressions were interesting. True Lord Tai Xiao and Palace Lord Bai Ji even looked suspiciously at Haiyun Master and disciple. But from Haiyun Master and Bei Moi's expressions, they were obviously dazed. How is this possible? With Clan Master Haiyun's intelligence, how could he not understand the truth? At this moment, a strong sense of humiliation appeared in his heart. This Clan Master Haiyun is really unlucky. He's being used as bait by both the Iron Dragon Alliance and Zhao Feng. Lin Tong, who was in the air, was stunned. Zhao Feng returning to the Broken Moon clan and asking for forgiveness wasn't to kill Clan Master Haiyun. At least, killing Clan Master Haiyun wasn't the main goal. Sect Master Haiyun, on the other hand, was a bait. The Iron Dragon Alliance had predicted that Zhao Feng would return to the Broken Moon clan, and Clan Master Haiyun would be someone he had to kill. However, why wouldn't Zhao Feng use Clan Master Haiyun to attract more experts from the Iron Dragon Alliance? Before, Zhao Feng purposely let the Blood Corpse Palace Lord go because he didn't think the benefits were big. It's enough to attract 3 Palace Lords and 10 core elders. More than enough. Zhao Feng smiled brightly. The expressions of Yulong, Tai Xiao, and Bai Ji changed as anger rose in their hearts. This was the first time they had seen such an arrogant person ever since the Iron Dragon Alliance was formed. Brat. Don't be arrogant. You think you can deal with 3 True Lord ranks by yourself? True Lord Tai Xiao exclaimed as he waved his fan and sent a cold arc of light toward Zhao Feng. Ding! Pun! Pun! With a flash of light, a soul-shaking howl sounded. Ding! Sparks flew and True Lord Tia Xiao's arm went numb, and his fan almost flew out of his hand. Dang! 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 True Lord Tia Xiao's expression changed dramatically as he was pushed back dozens of yards. That's... True Lord Tia Xiao's face was filled with shock as he looked at the dark mist around Zhao Feng. Whoosh! 2 tall dark silver ghost corpses could be faintly seen amidst the dark gray mist, and they emitted a peerlessly horrifying deathly corpse chi. Just the aura from the 2 dark silver ghost corpses was enough to suffocate some disciples. True Lord rank! How is this possible? There's 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses. The hearts of the other 2 palace lords shook. True Lord Tai Xiao had obviously been tricked. The 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses almost made him drop his weapon and almost spat out a mouthful of blood. In terms of cultivation, True Lord Tai Shao was also at the early stage True Lord rank. The two dark silver ghost corpses had the same strength as an early stage True Lord rank, but they had the advantage in terms of physical strength. Shwa! Shwa! The two True Lord rank dark silver ghost corpses circled around Zhao Feng's left and right and moved like lightning. Bam! In the blink of an eye, the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array around Zhao Feng collapsed. Clan Master Haiyun and company were scared witless by the auras of several True Lord ranks. No one would have thought that Zhao Feng would have such a hidden card. He immediately sent out 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses. This power was like child's play to the Broken Moon clan. No! Even destroying the 13 clans wouldn't be a problem. Zhao Feng still had such a powerful trump card. Bei Moi and even Lin Tong seemed to be in a daze as they looked at Zhao Feng, who was being protected by 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses. The 3 palace lords even forgot to take action. True Lord Tai Shao, who had once dominated the 13 clans, was pushed back by the 2 ghost corpses and was almost injured. Yulong and Bai Ji, the 2 palace kings, were shocked and unable to accept reality. The 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses were enough to flip the scales of victory. This meant that Zhao Feng and the 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses had the battle power of 3 True Lord ranks, and were on the same level as the 3 palace lords. However, if Zhao Feng dared to use Clan Master Haiyun as bait against the upper echelon of the Iron Dragon Alliance, how could he not have other methods? At this moment, the figures of the Broken Moon clan couldn't help but take in cold breaths as they looked at the figure of the blue-haired youth with wariness and respect. It's time to pull in the net, but the Broken Moon clan used to be my clan. We need to finish this quickly. Chapter 464. Sky Moon Mountain, Central Square. Zhao Feng was surrounded by the 3 palace lords, then the 8 true spirit realm experts and 64 elites. In fact, the 10 core elders were eyeing them like tigers watching their prey. The Broken Moon clan of the past was like a net that made Zhao Feng's figure seem isolated. Zhao Feng, you've surprised me. You even have 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses. No wonder you dared to return to the Cloud area and challenge the Iron Dragon Alliance. Palace Lord Yulong finally recovered after a short moment of shock. At the same time, the 3 palace lords exchanged glances with each other. The plan to capture and kill him, which seemed to be in the bag, now had an anomaly. With the 2 dark silver ghost corpses in front of Zhao Feng, they had the battle power of 3 True Lord ranks. This meant that the Iron Dragon Alliance didn't have much of an advantage in terms of intimidation. If Zhao Feng wanted to run, the possibility of them killing him wasn't high. Usually, several True Lord ranks were needed to kill a True Lord rank together in order to have a higher chance. This meant that the price and difficulty of dealing with 3 True Lord ranks would increase by several times. Zhao Feng, I admit that I've greatly underestimated you. You're very strong and arrogant. You returned to the Broken Moon clan this time and used me as bait. If you really wanted to attack, my corpse would have been somewhere else by now. At the center of the array, Clan Master Haiyun's eyes flashed with a cold light. Zhao Feng laughed but didn't say anything. Killing Clan Master Haiyun wasn't a challenge at all. The Iron Dragon Alliance was the big fish. Laughable. Haiyun Master was the master of a clan, and was famous for his schemes. However, he was being used as bait by both the Iron Dragon Alliance and Zhao Feng's side. To sect leader Haiyun, this was a great humiliation. In the game between the 2 sides, he was an insignificant, small fry that could be pinched to death at any time. Indeed, Zhao Feng did this on purpose. He wanted Clan Master Haiyun to taste the feeling of being an ant and being played around by others. Hee. Zhao Feng, you're wrong. From your first master, Lord Guanjuan, to your second first elder, you've all been defeated by me. Clan Master Haiyun's laughter was extremely weird and feminine. Zhao Feng's eyes narrowed. What else did Haiyun Master want to play? However, what Haiyun Master said wasn't wrong. The reason why Haiyun Master could reach his current position wasn't just because of his strength, but also because of his schemes. In the clan war, Hai-Yun Master relied on the Iron Dragon Alliance to kill the beautiful clan master, and became the clan master. During the clan war, Hai-Yun Master joined the Iron Dragon Alliance and killed the beautiful clan master, becoming the clan master in one fell swoop. After Yun-Hai became the clan master, the Broken Moon clan's ranking in the 13 clans continued to rise, and it even reached the top 5. Even someone as strong as First Elder had been defeated by Hai-Yun Master. One had to admit that Hai-Yun Master's strength exceeded others. That's right. My 2 masters lost to you. But from me, everything will change. Zhao Feng didn't deny this. Defeat was defeat, victory was victory. No matter what methods he used, Hai-Yun Master had always been the winner. Even when Zhao Feng first entered the Broken Moon clan, he had to struggle to survive under Hai-Yun Master's pressure. Bring him up! Clan Master Hai-Yun's eyes went cold as he waved his hand. Shwa! 2 or 3 figures suddenly appeared on a distant mountain peak. On the left and right was a middle-aged man in gold and a white-faced youth. The 2 of them were holding a white-haired old man hostage. First Elder! The entire Broken Moon clan exclaimed. Everyone's gazes were fixed on the white-haired old man who had appeared on the mountain peak. The white-haired elder was First Elder Broken Moon. The middle-aged man in gold and the white-faced youth were Elder Shui and Sun Yuanhao. Zhao Feng! Back in the Floating Crest trial, you kicked me out and missed a great opportunity. Today I'll let you taste what it's like to be threatened. Sun Yuanhao's white face was filled with viciousness. Thinking back to when he first entered the Broken Moon clan, he was found to have a changeable body and was taken in as a disciple by Elder Shui. However, in the Floating Crest trial, he was kicked out by Zhao Feng in the first round. From then on, although his talent was high, he was still a line or 2 away from Zhao Feng and Beimhua. Hee. Zhao Feng! I'm sure that you're someone who knows how to repay kindness, just like your 2 masters. Hai-Yun Master's handsome face was filled with a smile. Beautifully done. The eyes of the 3 palace lords lit up. If they could threaten Zhao Feng's master, although they might not be able to change the situation, they could at least make Zhao Feng hesitate. Zhao Feng, I won't threaten your life. If you cut off one of your arms or destroy a true Lord rank ghost corpse, I can exchange for your master's life. Clan Master Hai-Yun had a cunning expression. He wouldn't ask Zhao Feng to kill himself in exchange for First Elder's life. That wasn't realistic, and Zhao Feng wasn't an idiot. If he died, First Elder wouldn't even have a chance to live. Therefore, Clan Master Hai-Yun was smart. As long as Zhao Feng cut off one of his arms or destroyed a true Lord rank ghost corpse. Although it wouldn't kill Zhao Feng, it would weaken Zhao Feng's battle power. Smart! The 3 palace lords couldn't help but look at Clan Master Hai-Yun in a different light. However, would Clan Master Hai-Yun's threat work? Normally speaking, the success rate was higher. After all, Clan Master Hai-Yun wasn't threatening with his life. At this moment, the entire Broken Moon clan held their breaths as they stared at the blue-haired youth who was being threatened. Hee. Hai-Yun Master, very interesting. Zhao Feng wasn't surprised at all. On the contrary, he laughed lightly. Clan Master Hai-Yun's heart jumped. Could it be that Zhao Feng was so cold that he didn't care about First Elder's life? Unfortunately, no matter how much you think, you're still one step behind. The moment I entered the Broken Moon clan, I was destined to be in control of everything. The mockery on Zhao Feng's face became stronger. I'm in control of everything. The hearts of Clan Master Hai-Yun, the 3 palace lords, and the countless experts of the Broken Moon clan shook. Not good! Stop his eye bloodline! Go and capture First Elder! The 3 palace lords seemed to think of something and called out. Plop! Plop! On the mountain, Elder Shui and Sun Yuanhao spat out mouthfuls of blood and fell onto the ground unconscious. After finishing all of this, Zhao Feng's left eye casually glanced at the 2. So. After the 10 great core elders received the order, they quickly rushed toward the Great Elder on the mountain peak. As long as they could capture First Elder, they would at least be able to cause some trouble for Zhao Feng. At the same time, the three palace lords called out in alarm, their bodies flickering as they began to attack Zhao Feng. Eye of Illusion, Illusion City Maze. A mysterious whirlpool appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye that created a lethal force. Shua! The hearts of everyone present shook. The central hall square no longer existed, and what appeared in front of them was a desolate ancient city. The ancient city was covered in white mist, and the terrain inside was complex like a maze. At this moment, on the central square, everyone was in this strange and illusory maze city. They were like flies with their heads in a mess as they scurried about in search of a passageway. Illusion City Maze, a mental energy skill based on the foundation of the Eye of Illusion, creates an illusion maze through the Eye bloodline to trap all living beings in an area. Back in the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng had used the Illusion City Maze. That time, he had the Wood Spirit Essence Soul in the Eye of Heaven. He had already created an illusion model for the Illusion City Maze. Next time, Zhao Feng would use the God's spiritual eye to copy the illusion. He didn't need to imagine it anymore. Invisibly, Zhao Feng once again used the Illusion City Maze, and the expenditure of his eye bloodline was reduced by more than half. Even without the Wood Spirit Essence Soul, he could still use it easily. What's going on? Why are the people on the Central Hall Square moving around? The members of the Broken Moon clan were puzzled. The power of the Illusion City Maze covered the entire Central Hall Square. On the battlefield, only the three palace kings were struggling with all their might. Everyone else was in a daze. A while later, Shua! The first to struggle over was Palace Lord Yulong. His cultivation was the highest, at the late stage True Lord rank. The second was Palace Lord Baiji, who wasn't any weaker than Palace Lord Yulong. Her battle power wasn't any higher than the four palace lords, but she also specialized in mental energy illusions. The last was True Lord Tai Xiao. Where did Zhao Feng go? The three palace lords were stunned. Zhao Feng's figure was nowhere to be seen. I'm here. A blue-haired youth stood at the peak of a mountain, standing shoulder to shoulder with the Great Elder. The master and disciple looked at each other and smiled. Preposterous! Anger rose in the hearts of the three palace lords. They felt as if they had been tricked by Zhao Feng. It seemed like Zhao Feng only used the Illusion City Maze to escape. I didn't take the two True Lord rank ghost corpses with me, Palace Lord Baiji exclaimed as her eyes lit up. The two True Lord rank ghost corpses were right next to her. If she could control these two ghost corpses and take them for herself, she would become much stronger. I'll kill you first. Zhao Feng's left eye turned into the Eye of Ice and a limitless abyss appeared. Limitless coldness enveloped Palace Lord Baiji's body. Not good. Palace Lord Baiji's thoughts froze and her movements became slow. Shoo! 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 The two dark silver ghost corpses leapt forward and sliced open Palace Lord Baiji's skin. The destructive power of the Origin Core realm instantly made Palace Lord Baiji unable to fight back. Plop! Before the other two Palace Lords could react, Palace Lord Baiji's body was ripped into pieces and fell into a pool of blood. She was dead. So. Immediately following that, the two dark silver ghost corpses leapt toward Palace Lord Yulong. Palace Lord Yulong's hairs stood on end as he knew that Zhao Feng's next target would be him. However, he had still underestimated Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng was trying to kill the three palace lords as quickly as possible. Eye of Illusion! Zhao Feng's eye bloodline circulated once again. Plop! On the other side, True Lord Tiexiao's body was drenched in cold sweat, and he fell to the ground exhausted. Chapter 465. Central Plaza. Life and death were decided in an instant. Everything happened too quickly. It was so fast that the Broken Moon clan couldn't react in time. In just a few breaths, of the three palace kings, Palace King Baiji died on the spot. True Lord Taishao lost his ability to fight and laid on the ground with a face full of fear and disbelief. Only the 8 at the True Spirit Realm, Lin Tong, and a few others could see the entire process clearly. Everyone's mouths were open. This scene made many experts feel as if they had lost their souls. Those from the Iron Dragon Alliance felt their hearts go cold. In the blink of an eye. Of the 3 Palace Lords, 1 was dead and 1 was defeated. Palace Lord Baiji's death was unbearable, and she couldn't fight back at all. True Lord Tiexiao's defeat was even more unacceptable. Thinking back, True Lord Taishao had forced the elders of the 12 clans to sign a blood contract. How powerful was he? It could be said that True Lord Tiexiao's strength was deeply engraved into the hearts of the 13 clans. However, under Zhao Feng's lightning-fast attacks, True Lord Taishao didn't even have the chance to attack. Defeated. How is this possible? True Lord Taishao couldn't believe it, and even suspected that he was dreaming. How could someone who stood at the peak of the cloud area be defeated like this? Not only him, but many experts present, including Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, Lin Tong, and the members of the Broken Moon Clan, felt as if they were dreaming. This can't be real! Clan Master Haiyun's handsome face twisted as his nails dug into his flesh. The pain brought him back to reality. On the peak of the mountain. Is this real? First Elder felt that this wasn't real. His trembling hand reached toward his disciple but didn't dare to touch him. He was afraid that everything in front of him was just an illusion. Zhao Feng stood next to the Grand Elder, a warm smile on his face as he monitored the battle from afar. A head-on battle between True Lord ranks will destroy the Broken Moon Clan. This is also the simplest way to end the battle quickly. Zhao Feng nodded his head with his hands behind his back. He didn't participate in the battle. Zhao Feng was already out of the picture during the period of the illusory city maze. Through the god's spiritual eye, Zhao Feng controlled the battle from afar and instantly finished off the 2 palace kings. At this moment, the 2 dark silver ghost corpses leapt towards the last Palace Lord Yulong. Victory was so close. Palace Lord Yulong couldn't help but exclaim in shock. In the blink of an eye, one of the 2 palace lords beside him had died, and the other had been defeated. He didn't think that Zhao Feng's 2 dark silver ghost corpses had such a terrifying poison that even True Lord ranks couldn't resist. Because of this, Palace Queen Baiji died instantly. As for True Lord Taishao, with his early-stage True Lord rank mental energy level, he wasn't able to block Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique. You should know. Zhao Feng's mental energy level was slightly stronger than normal late-stage True Lord ranks, and his soul had even surpassed the peak True Lord rank. Normally, those whose mental energy level was lower than his could only be crushed by his eye bloodline. Retreat! Take Palace Lord Taishao away! Palace Lord Yulong took a deep breath and the black scales on his body started to glow with a one sound. Ding ding ping, the attacks of the 2 dark silver ghost corpses landed on Palace Lord Yulong's body and sparks flew, but they weren't able to break through his defense. One had to know. The claws of the 2 ghost corpses had been strengthened by Zhao Feng and were extremely sharp. Furthermore, after leaving the Purple Saint ruins, the 2 dark silver poison corpses were put into the 10,000 Ghost Pearl and were strengthened by some Ghost Dao treasures. Palace Lord! We're here! A few core elders rushed over to receive them without any regard for their own safety. Their goal was obviously to protect Palace Lord Yulong and take True Lord Taishao away. In the air, Lin Tong hesitated and didn't know if he should help Zhao Feng or the Iron Dragon Alliance. Suddenly, his heart shook as he looked bitterly at Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had a smile that wasn't a smile as he watched everything unfold. He didn't forget about Lin Tong. Scarlet Demon Moon Eye! Lin Tong gritted his teeth and circulated his eye bloodline to kill some of the core elders present. Although the Iron Dragon Alliance and Scarlet Moon demonic religion were extremely powerful, Zhao Feng only needed a thought to kill him. Meow meow! A silver and gray thieving cat appeared on the central center square. Shwa! A silver-striped silver blood whip wrapped around the crippled True Lord Taishao. This Zhao Feng, why doesn't he kill me? True Lord Taishao didn't panic even though he was tied up. In terms of strength, there wasn't much difference between True Lord Taishao and Palace Lord Baiji. If Zhao Feng wanted to kill him, the little thieving cat, the dark silver ghost's corpse, or Lin Tong could easily finish him off. However, it was obvious that Zhao Feng didn't plan to kill True Lord Taishao immediately. At this point in time, the situation was completely under Zhao Feng's control. Palace Lord Yulong was being furiously attacked by the two dark silver ghost corpses while Zhao Feng's eye bloodline pressured him from afar. The little thieving cat captured True Lord Taishao alive while Lin Tong killed some of the core elders. The 3 palace lords and 10 core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance instantly crumbled and collapsed. The entire Broken Moon clan saw this sudden change and they were all dumbstruck. How can this be? The 3 leaders of the Iron Dragon Alliance weren't even his match? Clan Master Haiyan's face was filled with shock. The instantaneous reversal in front of him was beyond the limits of his calculations. As I thought, this was just Zhao Feng's bait. His true goal was to kill the upper echelon palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Bai Moi suppressed the shock in his heart and analyzed everything. In this game, from start to finish, he or Yunhai had played a small role. At this moment, the suspense of the battle was gone. Occasionally, a core elder would charge into the central center square and try to save True Lord Taishao. Shua! A shadow of a dagger flashed in the air and disappeared. Blood spurted from the throat of the top 3 core elder, and he fell to the ground dead. Meow meow! The little thieving cat returned to True Lord Tiaxiao's shoulder and quickly put away the dark transparent dagger. With a paw, True Lord Taishao was slapped by the little thieving cat before he could even catch his breath. At least 4 or 5 of the 10 core elders had been killed by Lin Tong and the little thieving cat. The remaining core elders either ran away or fought with Palace Lord Yulong. This Palace Lord Yulong's strength is stronger than the Blood Corpse Protector, and might even be close to Yi Yenyu's level. Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye surveyed the battle. With the 2 dark silver ghost corpses' battle power, it was extremely hard to break through Palace Lord Yulong's defense. Palace Lord Yulong's cultivation had reached a late-stage True Lord rank and his bloodline power had increased his body, power, and defense. If it was a head-on clash, either Zhao Feng nor the 2 dark silver ghost corpses would be able to beat Palace Lord Yulong. Through his profound insight, Zhao Feng found that Palace Lord Yulong was still saving some strength to deal with his eye bloodline technique. Looks like it'll be hard to kill this Palace Lord Yulong. Zhao Feng didn't approach rashly. In a head-on battle, Zhao Feng didn't have any advantage, especially since he hadn't reached the True Lord rank yet. On the other hand, the 2 dark silver ghost corpses had strong defense and were suitable as meat shields. Furthermore, there were 2 other reasons. One was that the internal situation of the Broken Moon clan hadn't stabilized yet. 2 was that a True Lord rank battle would affect the Broken Moon clan. Wind, lightning, eye, flame. Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly turned azure. Bam! A half-transparent flame of wind and lightning landed on Palace Lord Yulong's body and pierced through both the physical and mental energy dimensions. Palace Lord Yulong's figure shook as the flame of wind and lightning wreaked havoc on his body and even seeped into his soul. Dark demonic dragon-scale body. Palace Lord Yulong let out a roar that was like the sound of hell. In that instant, a layer of dark scales condensed on the surface of his body, fusing with the black scales on his body. His aura exploded, as though a demonic dragon had appeared. Bam! Bam! Palace Lord Yulong waved his arms and sent the 2 dark silver ghost corpses flying. It was hard to imagine his terrifying battle power. Bao Feng's pupils constricted. After Palace Lord Yulong's bloodline power was opened, apart from offense, all other aspects were on par with Yi Yenyu's, and some of them were even slightly better. On top of that, the black horn on Palace Lord Yulong's head flashed with dark purple lightning. It had a strong resistance to the lightning element within the wind lightning eye flame, and could absorb it to a certain extent. What a strong bloodline! Palace Lord Yulong is indeed worthy of being the head of the 4 palace lords. Lao Feng's expression became solemn. Even if the blood corpse, Tai Xiao, and Bai Ji teamed up, they might not be as strong as Palace Lord Yulong. Xiao Feng's strongest attack, the Wind Lightning Eye Flame, didn't do much damage to Palace Lord Yulong. After all, I haven't reached the true Lord rank yet, and my comprehension of the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet is limited. The Wind Lightning True Fire in my body still has room to grow. Zhao Feng's thoughts spun. This was the first time he had met such a strong opponent after returning to the cloud area. Of course, if the battle continued, Zhao Feng still had a chance to make Palace Lord Yulong stay. This was because Palace Lord Yulong used his bloodline to increase his battle power. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses that didn't know exhaustion. However, the mess left behind by the Broken Moon clan made it impossible for Zhao Feng to continue chasing. I have an 80 to 90% chance of escaping when my bloodline power explodes. I might even have the chance to kill Zhao Feng. Palace Lord Yulong's eyes were filled with coldness. He obviously knew that Zhao Feng might not be able to stop him in a head-on battle. At this moment, the gazes of Zhao Feng and the retreating Palace Lord Yulong met for a brief moment. Mockery appeared on Zhao Feng's face. Eye of Ice Soul. Zhao Feng's left eye turned ice cold and entered Palace Lord Yulong's consciousness. Instantly, Palace Lord Yulong's thoughts and actions became abnormally slow. Bam! Bam! The attacks from the 2 dark silver ghost corpses became fiercer and fiercer. This was only because Palace Lord Yulong's bloodline was extremely strong. Normal true lord ranks wouldn't be able to last more than a few breaths. Damn it! The element of my bloodline has changed multiple times during the battle. Palace Lord Yulong's thoughts of killing Zhao Feng were instantly shattered. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng's bloodline turned azure once again. A wisp of a piercingly cold and shocking azure glow arose within his azure pupils, and it was like a shapeless azure blade. Chapter 466. The coldness around Palace Lord Yulong's body hadn't dissipated yet. He suddenly felt a piercing coldness, as if an invisible sword had cut into his body. He instinctively glanced at the youth on the peak. In that instant, the youth's hair turned green, and his left eye suddenly flashed with a sharp green luster. Shwa! A sharp wind pierced through the air. When Palace Lord Yulong heard this sound, pain came from the side of his thigh. Shwa! A half-transparent blade of wind sliced through the dark scales on Palace Lord Yulong's body like an invisible blade. How can he break through my dark demonic dragon scales and dark striped demonic clothes? Palace Lord Yulong's expression changed dramatically. One could see how strong Palace Lord Yulong's defense was from the frenzied attacks of the 2 dark silver ghost corpses. In terms of defense, Palace Lord Yulong was one of the best amongst the true lord ranks, and was almost undefeatable against those under the Origin Core realm. However, the illusory lightning blade used his bloodline power as the source, and was released through his eye bloodline. Its attack speed was lightning fast and exceeded normal physical attacks. This form of attack wasn't physical or soul and could even ignore normal defense. For example, normal defense could be ignored by Zhao Feng's mental energy technique. On the other hand, this azure demonic blade was more of a physical attack. Although it couldn't completely ignore normal defense, it could cut through the opponent's defense. This eye bloodline technique is similar to Tuobachi's heavenly piercing eye. Beimhua, who was in the central square, paused. After all, he had participated in the sacred True Dragon gathering and had seen Tuobachi's heavenly piercing eye. However, the azure demonic blade that Zhao Feng used had surpassed Tuobachi's heavenly piercing eye in terms of power. However, his opponent this time was also extremely strong. Zhao Feng's attack was aimed at the weakest point of Palace Lord Yulong's defense, and should have doubled the damage. On top of that, the invisible sharpness from his eye bloodline could ignore normal defenses. Even so, Palace Lord Yulong's defense was barely broken and a bloody wound appeared on the side of his thigh. Thankfully, Zhao Feng didn't think that he could kill or heavily injure Palace Lord Yulong like this. This is the chance. Lao Feng's expression became serious as his god's spiritual eye entered a powerful control state. He controlled the two dark silver ghost corpses to attack the side of Palace Lord Yulong's thighs. Crack! One of the dark silver ghost corpses took a palm and a kick from Palace Lord Yulong head-on. A crack appeared on its body, and it almost fell apart. However, the corpse didn't know how to feel pain and continued to attack Palace Lord Yulong chi. The other dark silver ghost corpse grabbed the air and started to attack, tearing at Palace Lord Yulong's leg that had been cut open. The wound on Palace Lord Yulong's thigh hadn't even healed yet when it was cut by the poisoned corpses. Under Zhao Feng's control, the two poisoned corpses cooperated seamlessly. Hiss! Not good! Palace Lord Yulong roared. His hoarse voice was filled with fear and uneasiness. The instant the dark silver ghost corpse tore open his skin, an indescribable poison spread throughout his body and killed all signs of life. In just one breath, Palace Lord Yulong's face turned purple and black. His body wasn't feeling well and he couldn't use his bloodline power. Moreover, he possessed a powerful and unique bloodline physique that leaned towards the dark attribute, which made him very resistant to poison. If it was true Lord Tai Xiao or Palace Lord Bai Ji, they would be able to kill him instantly. At this moment, Palace Lord Yulong finally understood why Palace Lord Bai Ji had died so quickly and miserably. The poison in Zhao Feng's two dark silver ghost corpses was enough to threaten true Lord ranks. Most true Lord ranks wouldn't even be able to fight back. Argh! At the critical moment, Palace Lord Yulong ignited his bloodline and almost burned his chi of true spirit to resist the poison. However, his resistance didn't have much effect. The poison of the dark silver ghost corpses didn't just come from the ancient scorpion, it also came from the earth-eaten poison mushroom. Merging with his own poison, it had a nightmarish effect on life. Crack! Palace Lord Yulong let out a soul-shaking roar and gritted his teeth as he ripped off his poison leg. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere. When the leg was separated from the body, 70% of the poison had been cut off. After this step, Palace Lord Yulong barely managed to keep his life. His face was purple and his aura was weak. Palace Lord Yulong didn't dare to stay any longer, and he circulated his remaining bloodline power and burned his chi of true spirit to turn into a dark beam of light that shot through the clouds. Sky Moon Mountain. Everyone in the Broken Moon clan felt their hearts go cold as they saw Palace Lord Yulong cut off his own leg. Even Boss Yulong lost. The captured true Lord Tiexiao's face was pale white and his heart was filled with bitterness and helplessness. Of the four Palace Lords, Palace Lord Yulong had the highest cultivation and the strongest bloodline. He could be said to be number one in the Cloud area. It was hard to imagine. The number one figure of the Iron Dragon Alliance was forced to cut off his own leg in order to escape. On the peak of the mountain. He even got away like this. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised as he watched Palace Lord Yulong escape. The main reason was that Palace Lord Yulong's bloodline was stronger than he had expected. His bloodline seemed to be connected to the ancient demonic dragon's bloodline. Zhao Feng wanted to chase, but he didn't have the strength to do so. After so many battles, the tiredness of his left eye appeared once again. Palace Lord Yulong's cultivation had reached the late stages of the true Lord rank, and his speed made Zhao Feng feel helpless. Zhao Feng had just circulated the chi of true spirit within his body when he suddenly felt a weird feeling. Zhao Feng found that the chi of true spirit within his body gave off the sound of wind and lightning. It gave off a chaotic aura that pressured him and made him feel like his chi of true spirit was about to explode. His expression turned to joy. His cultivation had reached the point of breaking through to the true Lord rank. This meant that, as long as Zhao Feng wanted to, he could break through to the true Lord rank at any time without much resistance. At this point, Zhao Feng could only give up on chasing Palace Lord Yulong. However, Zhao Feng couldn't let go of a powerful opponent like Palace Lord Yulong, who Zhao Feng took a light breath and opened his god's spiritual eye, turning it into the dark water state. Ripples flowed in his blue, translucent left eye, and a mysterious swirl appeared inside. In the end, a dark blue dot of light appeared and flashed in the air with an obscure mental wave. Chiu at the same time, Palace Lord Yulong, who had escaped 1,000 miles away, felt a weird uneasy feeling. What did I feel just now? Palace Lord Yulong's body felt as if something was sticking to it. In just an instant. However, at this moment, he had been poisoned and had lost an arm. Enduring the poison, he used a secret technique and the feeling disappeared. 1,000 miles away, in the Broken Moon clan. I'll let you go this time, but the mark of the god's eye I left on you with my god's spiritual eye is extremely faint and hard to erase. A cold smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The mark of the god's eye was a mental energy mark that could even be used by those at the true human rank. However, Zhao Feng's mark of the god's eye was built on the foundation of the Tao of the soul and contained profound eye bloodline techniques. When he used the mark of the god eye, he would expend his soul and eye bloodline power to imprint a special mark on the target. It was extremely precise, obscure, and difficult to sense. It would also be very difficult to erase using normal methods. Unless the opponent's cultivation was higher than Zhao Feng's or they had researched the Tao of the soul or mental energy techniques, it would be hard to erase the mark in a short amount of time. Once the mark of the god's eye was completed, Zhao Feng would be able to sense the approximate location of the target even if they were far away. After all of this, Zhao Feng's gaze turned back to the battlefield of the Broken Moon clan. The upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan, including Clan Master Haiyan and the Regulations Elder, tried to escape several times. This was especially so when Zhao Feng was chasing after Palace Lord Yulong. Clan Master Haiyan and company tried to break out of the Broken Moon clan once or twice. However, Lin Tong and the little thieving cat wouldn't allow this to happen. Meow meow! Shwa! Shwa! The little thieving cat's figure flashed in the air. Every time it appeared out of thin air, it would be accompanied by a wave of its claws, and loud slapping sounds could be heard. Central Plaza. Arg! Clan Master Haiyan and the other upper echelon members had fiery paw prints left on their faces. Although the little thieving cat's strength wasn't its forte, its paw attacks contained a mysterious, dizzying effect. Those at the true spirit realm that were hit by the paw would have their faces swollen up and feel the world spin around them. Hee hee, everyone seems to be having fun. A light laugh came from a distant mountain. At this moment, the battle between Zhao Feng and the 3 palace kings had come to an end. Of the 3 palace lords, 1 was dead, 1 was captured, and 1 was crippled. As soon as the words were said, on the central square, the entire Broken Moon clan fell into dead silence. Sect Master Haiyan and company, who were planning to escape, all stiffened and their hearts shook. Many gazes looked up at the smiling blue-haired youth with his hands behind his back. Their hearts were filled with awe and respect. In the process of defeating the 3 palace lords, this youth had been watching from afar and didn't participate in the battle. Shwa! Shwa! The 2 dark silver ghost corpses suddenly split into 2. They were responsible for killing those that tried to escape, including the remaining members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Arg! The dark silver ghost corpses had the battle power of the true Lord rank and had the throat-sealing poison under the Origin Core realm. They could take a life with just a flash. The Core Elders were instantly killed by the dark silver poison corpses in an instant. At this moment, the situation was completely under Zhao Feng's control. Clan Master Haiyan, the Regulations Elder, and company had ashen expressions. 1 or 2 of the upper echelon members fell to the ground with a plop and peed their pants. Chapter 467. Under Zhao Feng's gaze, the entire Broken Moon clan was obedient and didn't move. Clan Master Haiyan, the Regulations Elder, and the remaining members of the Iron Dragon Alliance were filled with fear and helplessness. Half the time it took to make Tia go, Who would have thought that this youth would be able to control the situation by himself? The three palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance, legendary figures that stood at the peak of the cloud area, had been instantly defeated by this youth. One dead, one captured, and one crippled. As for the other 10 core elders, almost none of them returned. They were completely annihilated. In less than half the time it took to make tea, this youth had used godlike methods to suppress everyone. All of this sounded like a legend. It could even be said that everyone present was witnessing a legend. Halfway up the mountain, not long after Yangon's group entered the clan, they didn't even have the time to hand in the first mission out of the 49, but the situation in the Broken Moon clan had already changed. No! It wasn't just the situation in the Broken Moon clan, the situation in the 13 countries and even the entire cloud area would change. Yangon, Lin Fan, Ran Xiaoyuan, Yang Qishan and company felt like they were dreaming. In just the time it took for them to take a nap, Clan Master Haiyun's era had come to an end. Brother Zhao is too strong. He defeated the 3 palace lords with just one hand. I can't believe it. Ha! We can finally escape from our predicament. Even that bastard Clan Master Haiyun can have such a day. We almost blamed Brother Zhao wrongly. Some of the disciples were overjoyed and excited, mixed with a tinge of shame. Cheers came from the silent Broken Moon clan. Most of them were from the bottom disciples. Some of the middle and upper echelons such as Old Zhang and Old Guan were full of pride and joy. First Elder, you have no regrets in your life to be able to take in such a disciple. Granny Luwa smiled comfortingly, but there was also a hint of envy in her eyes. In the hall, First Elder took a deep breath as he looked at his disciple. He finally reached out and patted Zhao Feng's shoulder. Fomer, I knew that you would return to the Broken Moon clan one day, but I didn't think it would be so soon. First Elder couldn't help but sigh. The master and disciple had reunited, so there was bound to be a lot of things to talk about, and they could not be finished in a short while. First Elder was extremely curious about Zhao Feng's fortuitous encounter, but he didn't immediately ask. He understood that there were still many problems waiting for Zhao Feng to resolve. After a while, Zhao Feng and the Grand Elder landed on Dubhe Square side by side. Head Elder had a big smile on his face as he looked at Sect Master Haiyun. Sect Master Haiyun's face was red and swollen. His expression was gloomy and full of resentment. His eyes flickered, giving off the illusion that he was plotting something. Zhao Feng didn't pay much attention to Sect Master Haiyun. On this day, the two of them felt as if their identities had been swapped. In Zhao Feng's eyes, Sect Master Haiyun was no different from an ant. He could kill him with a flick of his finger. True Lord Tai Shao. Zhao Feng's gaze landed on True Lord Tai Shao, who was now a prisoner. Even today, the hearts of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan shook when True Lord Tai Shao was mentioned. Back then, True Lord Tai Shao was extremely powerful when he dominated the 13 clans. Zhao Feng, I know what you want. You want the blood contract that the 12 clans signed back then. True Lord Tiexiao's expression was calm. After all, he was a true lord rank that stood at the peak of the cloud area. He regained his calmness and found a way to live. Why didn't Zhao Feng kill him? True Lord Tai Shao didn't doubt that Zhao Feng had the ability to kill him back then, and his outcome would have been the same as Palace Lord Bai Ji. Since Zhao Feng didn't kill him, it must be because he had some value. True Lord Tai Shao thought for a moment and had an answer. That was the blood pact. Back then, all the elders of the 12 clans were forced to sign the blood contract by True Lord Tai Shao. The blood contract was a power that was witnessed by the heavens and earth, and it was extremely binding. Once the elders of the 12 clans joined the Iron Dragon clan, they couldn't go against it. This binding power was so strong that even if Zhao Feng returned to the Broken Moon clan, First Elder and company wouldn't be able to help him. True Lord Tai Shao, you're very smart. Where's the blood contract? Zhao Feng nodded his head in admiration. He didn't like to beat around the bush. If True Lord Tai Shao cooperated, he would consider giving him a chance to live. I've placed the blood contract in a secret location. If you can promise not to kill or injure me, then I'll give it to you. True Lord Taishao said solemnly. He, is that so? How do I make sure you don't play any tricks? Zhao Feng was doubtful. He soon gave the little thieving cat a look. Meow meow. The little thieving cat's figure flashed and disappeared. True Lord Taishao was speechless. A few breaths later, his expression changed as he looked at the interspatial ring in his hand. Shwa! Meow meow! The little thieving cat appeared once more and took out an ancient scroll covered in blood. How is this possible? True Lord Taishao finally started to panic in disbelief. He had clearly hidden the blood contract in a hidden corner. How did the little thieving cat find it? Zhao Feng laughed as he opened the blood contract and nodded his head. The contents of the blood contract indicated that it was signed between the 12 sects and the Iron Dragon Alliance. It wasn't weird that True Lord Taishao carried the blood contract with him. After all, he was one of the 4 pillars of the alliance, and the 13 countries weren't that important in the Cloud area. According to ancient records, this blood contract was created by the Heaven's Legacy race, and it was very popular in ancient times. Even now, this kind of contract scroll is rather rare, let alone a blank blood contract scroll. Zhao Feng gently touched the blood contract. Shwa! An arc of lightning appeared in his hand, and the blood contract scroll instantly turned into ashes. First Elder and the other elders of the Broken Moon clan revealed joyful expressions. Now that the blood contract had been destroyed, the power of the oath no longer existed. On the contrary, True Lord Tiexiao's face was gray and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. In Zhao Feng's view, the only value he could excavate had vanished into thin air. I'll give you 10 breaths to think before I take action. Zhao Feng was planning to kill True Lord Taishao, but now he wanted to squeeze out more value from True Lord Taishao. 10 breaths? True Lord Tiexiao's heart went cold, and his breathing quickened. He could clearly see the killing intent that flashed through Zhao Feng's eyes. True Lord Taishao didn't doubt that Zhao Feng would kill a true lord without any hesitation. His instincts weren't wrong. In the Purple Saint ruins, many true lord ranks had died directly or indirectly to Zhao Feng. 10, 9, 8, 7. The Broken Moon clan's jaws dropped as they watched Zhao Feng decide the life and death of a true lord rank. True Lord Tiexiao's thoughts spun and he gritted his teeth. Wait! Remember! You only have one chance. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. True Lord Taishao took a deep breath and took out a blank blood contract scroll from his interspatial ring. Very good, you succeeded. Zhao Feng's eyes lit up. True Lord Taishao wasn't surprised. No one could resist the power of a true lord rank, even if Zhao Feng could easily kill one. A while later, Zhao Feng and True Lord Taishao signed a blood contract in front of everyone. The signing of a blood contract usually required both parties to make an oath. Only then could it be established. The content of the contract was, True Lord Taishao became the Broken Moon clan's mountain guardian and had the duty to protect the Broken Moon clan. He couldn't betray or disobey, etc. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had to promise that he wouldn't harm True Lord Taishao for no reason and would even protect him when the latter was in danger. After signing the blood contract, Zhao Feng put the scroll away. True Lord Tiexiao's heart was heavy. The chances of him taking back the blood contract from an expert like Zhao Feng was extremely small. Furthermore, as time passed, this chance would become infinitely smaller. Zhao Feng was an overwhelming prodigy that had crossed dozens of generations in the Azure Flower continent. His future was immeasurable. When True Lord Taishao signed the blood contract and submitted to the Broken Moon clan, the hearts of Clan Master Haiyun and company dropped. Zhao Feng, we can also sign a blood contract and forever serve you, the regulations elder said in a trembling voice. Shwa! Zhao Feng swiped his hand and a blade of lightning sliced the regulations elder in half. I don't care about your value. The calm and warm voice echoed in the Dubhe Square. The group led by Clan Master Haiyun trembled in fear, and some even peed their pants. Zhao Feng's gaze landed on a silent figure. Brother Bai Moi. If you want to kill me, do whatever you want. Bae-moi had a bitter expression. Brother Bae-moi, you should know that I won't kill you. Even if you betrayed Master in the past. Zhao Feng said calmly. Bae-moi's expression froze. He had guessed that Zhao Feng might let him live because they were from the same clan. Of course, there's a condition. Zhao Feng's tone changed. What condition? Bae-moi let out a breath. I want you to kill Yunhai with your own hands and take his head to Lord Guanjuan as an apology. Zhao Feng said emotionlessly. Zhao Feng! How dare you! Clan Master Haiyun roared with hatred. Pa! Just as he was about to go crazy, he was hit by a cat claw and felt dizzy. The people from the Broken Moon clan were stunned. Why did Zhao Feng want Bae-moi to kill Yunhai instead of Yunhai? But those who knew the truth soon guessed the reason. Firstly, Bae-moi was Clan Master Haiyun's most talented disciple. For Yunhai to die at the hands of his most outstanding disciple, what kind of mockery and humiliation was this? Secondly, it involved the enmity between Clan Master Haiyun and Lord Guanjuan. Yunhai had taken away Lord Guanjuan's beloved, humiliated the latter, and even took away Bae-moi's disciple. And now, Zhao Feng wanted Bae-moi to personally kill Yunhai and bring his head to Lord Guanjuan. In this way, all grudges and karma would be resolved in a relatively balanced manner. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Fine, I'll do it. Bae-moi didn't even think as a dark sword appeared in his hand and with a shuchi, Clan Master Haiyun's head was cut off. In terms of cultivation, there wasn't much of a difference between Bae-moi and Clan Master Haiyun. But Clan Master Haiyun had been hit by the little thieving cat's paw, and before he could react, his head had already been chopped off. Bae-moi's actions were quick and decisive, as if he didn't even need to think. Chapter 468. Between killing his master and surviving, Bae-moi's choice was decisive, without any hesitation or reluctance. Haiyun Master's eyes bulged out in disbelief before he died. This Bae-moi is so cold-blooded! He killed his master with his own hands? Humph! This isn't the first time he's betrayed us. He's just a coward! The entire Broken Moon clan discussed Bae-moi's actions with disdain and condemnation. Zhao Feng couldn't help but think about it. Seeing Bae-moi kill Haiyun Master, everyone wrapped the latter's head in a bag. Brother Zhao, Bae-moi is a traitor. If we let him go so easily, he'll probably... Some of the older generation and familiar disciples of the Broken Moon clan couldn't help but worry. Let him go. Zhao Feng didn't say anything more. First Elder smiled faintly and told Bae-moi to leave. After Zhao Feng left the Broken Moon clan, First Elder had made arrangements for everyone, including his parents and Lord Guanjuan. This was the prerequisite for Zhao Feng to leave safely. Zhao Feng was grateful for First Elder's preparations. At this moment, looking at First Elder's empty arm, Zhao Feng's heart felt sour and guilty. Since Master is missing an arm, I'll work together with Taigon Master to create a simplified version of the Wheel of Light and Darkness. Zhao Feng made up his mind. The blueprint of the Wheel of Light and Darkness came from the Heaven's Legacy inheritance, and it could transform into an arm, a shield, and a metal wheel. It was obviously very suitable for someone like First Elder who had lost an arm. Next, the Broken Moon clan still needed to be cleaned up. Clan Master Haiyun and the Regulations Elder had died, and their biggest enemies had been killed. However, there were still many trusted subordinates of Clan Master Haiyun, and even some of the Iron Dragon Alliance's spies. Zhao Feng left these matters to First Elder, Granny Luwei, Yang Gan and company to handle. On the same day, the Broken Moon clan started a small cleansing, and killed almost 100 people from the elders to the disciples. This was only because First Elder was merciful. Otherwise, the majority of the Broken Moon clan's members would have been hard to destroy. It was undeniable. In the past 2 years, the Broken Moon clan's strength had increased under Clan Master Haiyun's management, and it could be ranked within the top 5 of the 13 clans. Fomer, now that Yunhai is dead, the Broken Moon clan still lacks a clan master. Do you have any suggestions or candidates? The first elder asked. Zhao Feng thought for a moment, and came up with a candidate. It was senior brother Yang Gan. On the other hand, Yang Gan was very popular, and was the former head disciple. His talent, strength and abilities were all not bad. Now that Yang Gan had returned from the sacred true dragon gathering, breaking through to the true spirit realm was only a matter of time. Yang Gan is indeed a good choice, but his cultivation isn't enough. The first elder also agreed. He could confirm that Zhao Feng wasn't interested in the position of clan master. The entire cloud area probably couldn't contain a big fish like him. I have some resources and spiritual pills from the inheritances and geniuses from the outside world. It's enough to create several true spirit realms. Master, do as you see fit. Zhao Feng took out some resources from the ancient metal ring and gave them to the first elder. Many of these treasures were extinct in the Azure Flower continent, but they didn't count for much in the eyes of a two-star sect. Any random disciple in a two-star sect was at the true mystic rank, or even the true lord rank. From this, one could see how rich they were. 3 days later, the Broken Moon clan regained its peace and returned to normal. Zhao Feng himself entered seclusion and prepared to break through to the true lord rank. Although breaking through to the true lord rank won't increase my strength by leaps and bounds, my foundation will become stronger. Zhao Feng closed his eyes and slowly circulated his qi of true spirit. At this moment, Zhao Feng's cultivation was even stronger than those at the late stages of the true lord rank. The most terrifying thing was his soul power. It almost surpassed the 3 heavens of the true spirit realm, and probably only sovereigns could beat him. This was all because of the wood spirit essence soul, which gave Zhao Feng a lot of benefits. With such a powerful soul, it would be hard for Zhao Feng's mental energy level not to increase. Once his mental energy level increased, his cultivation speed would increase by leaps and bounds would be much smoother. In a solitary hall on Heavenly Moon Mountain, Zhao Feng sat down cross-legged with his eyes closed. The source of true spirit within his body was like jade and had arcs of lightning crackling around it. Once I reach the true lord rank, my source of true spirit will expand. Before that, if I can comprehend and integrate more of the Wind Thunder Ancient Tablet's essence, the increase in my strength will be even more obvious after I advance. Zhao Feng wasn't in a rush to break through. If he wanted to break through, he could try at any time. However, Zhao Feng wanted to refine his qi of true spirit before his source of true spirit expanded and merge the elements of the wind lightning into it. Not long after, Zhao Feng's consciousness merged into the tattered world of wind lightning within the wind lightning stone tablet. Swoosh! Most of the areas within the dilapidated intense space were dark and devoid of light, and it was filled with raging lightning and storms. Furthermore, the colors and styles of the wind and lightning were different. For example, the wind in front of Zhao Feng's consciousness was faint azure, colorless, faint blue, purple, and even gold. The colors of the lightning were also different. Amongst them, the most terrifying was the dark gold wind lightning, which was located in the depths of the world of wind lightning. At Zhao Feng's current level, he couldn't comprehend the wind lightning emperor's true power. Faint, azure, purple, scarlet, gold, dark gold. Zhao Feng sensed a few. Amongst them, the faint aura was the weakest and was suitable for those below the true spirit realm. Azure was Zhao Feng's current level and was a dark azure. The next step for Zhao Feng was the purple wind lightning, which could be comprehended by those at the origin core realm, and those at the true lord rank could barely comprehend it. And I'll first refine the pure dark azure wind lightning before turning it into the purple wind lightning. Zhao Feng had a rough direction. He estimated that if he could successfully cultivate the purple wind lightning, he would be able to dominate the continent. If he could comprehend the scarlet wind lightning, he would be invincible in the continent, and would be considered an expert even in the outside world. As for the highest gold and dark gold, that was a level that only the Wind Lightning Emperor could reach. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. Zhao Feng's consciousness entered the Wind Lightning Stone tablet and focused on cultivating. Over the past few days, the air above the hall was filled with howling wind and crackling thunder. That area would sometimes be filled with dark clouds and sometimes a gust of wind that could push back all the true human rank experts within a mile. Those at the true spirit realm on the Sky Moon Mountain could feel the chaotic flow of heaven-earth yuan qi, and the pressure made their hearts beat faster. That Zhao Feng hasn't reached the true lord rank, but his mental energy level far surpasses normal true lord ranks. True Lord Tai Xiao, who was guarding the mountain, had a solemn heart and felt more respect and wariness towards Zhao Feng. He was still puzzled. With Zhao Feng's mental energy level, why hadn't he broken through to the true lord rank yet? Indeed, Zhao Feng's situation was slightly special. First, in the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng didn't have much time and was surrounded by enemies. After returning to the cloud area, his left eye changed. Luckily, the god's spiritual eye's change had stabilized and he could enter seclusion without worry. However, Zhao Feng's preparations before entering seclusion were extremely complicated. Before breaking through to the true spirit realm, Zhao Feng changed the element of his source of true spirit. Before, Zhao Feng's source of true spirit was mainly wind. However, after comprehending the wind lightning stone tablet in the Purple Saint ruins, his cultivation had started to merge the element of wind into it. What's this Zhao Feng planning? According to logic, there shouldn't be any difficulty for him to break through to the true lord rank in 1 or 2 days. True Lord Tai Xiao inspected the changes in the heaven-earth yuan qi above the Sky Moon Mountain. In the air, the wind lightning yuan qi was extremely active and restless. When the 20th day arrived, a whirlpool of wind and lightning formed in the air above Zhao Feng's hall and contained the aura of a true lord rank. This true lord rank aura has already surpassed the early stage true lord rank, but he still hasn't broken through. True Lord Tiexiao's mouth gaped open. He found that the aura of wind lightning in the air was becoming more profound and immeasurable. The inheritance Zhao Feng had chosen came from an emperor, and his speed wasn't something the inheritances of the Azure Flower continent could compare to. At the same time, while Zhao Feng was in seclusion, the situation in the Broken Moon clan and even the 13 clans changed. The Broken Moon clan's master changed the situation in the Cloud Country. On the 5th day of Zhao Feng's seclusion, the members of the Dragon Killing Alliance heard the news and rushed over. The news that Zhao Feng had returned to the cloud area spread across the 13 countries and even to the 2 strong countries. 3 palace lords of the Iron Dragon clan had been defeated by a legendary star. This news shook the 13 countries and swept across the cloud area like a tornado. Zhao Feng's name shook the 13 clans. Both the experts of the older generation and the younger ones could only look up to him. Due to Zhao Feng's existence, the Cloud Country and the 13 countries became the base of the Dragon Killing Alliance. The Dragon Killing Alliance's forces quickly moved towards the 13 countries, and their forces quickly expanded. In the past, in the cloud area, the Iron Dragon Alliance controlled the sky with one hand and the 4 palace lords could control the world. Many forces and countries were angry but didn't dare to say anything. But now, the situation was completely different. Zhao Feng had defeated 3 palace lords, and apparently, he had defeated 4 palace lords by himself. He had crushed the Iron Dragon Alliance's morale. Those forces that were unhappy with the Iron Dragon Alliance, including enemies, all joined the Dragon Killing Alliance. At this point in time, the Broken Moon clan became the core of the Dragon Killing Alliance. Although Zhao Feng was in seclusion and didn't care about the outside world, he had become the soul of the cloud area against the Iron Dragon Alliance. During this time, many experts came from thousands of miles away to visit Zhao Feng, but they were all rejected by the Broken Moon clan. On this day, another piece of news came from the 13 countries. The number 1 clan of the 13 clans, the Cloud Sword clan, had changed owners. After Zhao Feng, another peerless genius of the sword had returned to the cloud area.